Yo, what's up, guys? What is up? Hate it with the likes, appreciate it. So we got something special here for you guys today. We have the official FSGA expert fantasy football draft here. So you all hopefully should know by now. Appreciate that, Hayden. That I'm the COO of a parent company that has two brands underneath the umbrella. We have sports betting and we have fantasy sports. So under the fantasy sports and sports betting, we're part of this nationally recognized association called the FSGA. It stands for Fantasy Sports and Gambling and Gaming Association. Brandon, appreciate the like. And so they're the top association for sports betting and fantasy sports in the nation. We've been members of them for the past couple of years now. Brandon says, you want expert fantasy draft advice? I'm here for you. Justin says, what's up, man? So what we have going on here is all of the top names of the industry, and I'm talking like Yahoo Sports, CBS Sports, big names like that. We're all coming together here for a draft we do. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing in a nutshell. So in a second here, I'm gonna pull up the draft board. I think you'll be able to hear everyone talking because we all get into a Zoom meeting. I'm not gonna pull everybody's faces up because I don't know if they want to be on my. I haven't really asked them permission if they want to be on my channel, so it'll just be my face with the draft board, but you'll hear their voices and whatnot. But yeah, so it's a 14-team league. We got drawn as the number 1 overall pick, so of course, you know, we're going to be getting CMC in a full PPR. If you have number 1 overall pick in a full PPR, you don't pick CMC, you're insane. Never take Ricky's advice, the worst fantasy player ever. Yeah, well, I don't think he's the worst fantasy player ever, but Ricky's too what's the word? Not home focused. He has too much home bias. He's too hardcore of a Ravens fan. He's got too much bias for the Ravens where it clouds his judgment. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I draft hold on here. I gotta answer some questions in chat. One second. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell. Draft Forrest Gumps even says, check out the new 305. Wesley says, check out the new 305 Miami hats. Hold on. 305 Miami hat. Not a fan. Unless... Hold on. Let me type Miami Dolphins. I don't know which new ones you're talking about, man. I'm usually on top of things. I can't find anything that's new. I don't know. Message me like a picture of it or something. Yeah, so I'm gonna flip over now to the draft board because we got 12 minutes to my pick. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So here's the draft board. We have 14 teams. I'm the orange square. This is DFS Karma. You see my name, Travis, underneath there. We have the number 1 overall pick. And yeah, you're gonna just tune in. They're gonna call me probably SiriusXM Fantasy. If you guys have SiriusXM, make sure you tune into Fantasy. You'll hear my voice on the radio. They'll be asking me about the number 1 overall pick, which of course we're just going to be saying like it's a no-brainer situation. But yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna we got invited to do this. So we're not gonna be streaming any video games. We're just gonna be drafting this on the SiriusXM here. Where am I looking for here? I'm looking for stats.
Hi everyone, just wanted to say good evening. Amy from staff. Let me know if you need anything as you get ready to start in about 12 minutes.
Perfect. Thanks, Amy. Hey, we're gonna be on video most of the time.
It's really up to you.
I just got chat in the background right now.
I didn't find out how long the Zoom lasted last night, but I could ask just find out. Oh, Digger's gonna be here to say hello. You can ask him
Oh, perfect.
how that worked.
I'm just gonna be in and out of that today. There he is.
Okay, talking with you. Close. Same to you.
What's up, Digger?
Well, Mr. Spasta.
You got it.
All right.
Finally.
Let me turn off the music here. They're talking in the background. Hold
I
on.
can pronounce Brandon Flowers and I can pronounce Trevis, but I just go with Matt with one T. How's that sound?
All right, give me a second here. I gotta turn my sound on for
Scott,
these
good to
guys.
see you. Not in person, but good to see you.
Likewise, Digger. How are you?
Good, good. And I'd be remiss to not say good to see you, Amy, as well.
You too, Digger.
Thanks for that.
How's it going, guys?
Trevis, how, you looking forward to coming in second again this year?
It's not that I come in second. It's that I missed the playoffs by some technicality that doesn't make any sense in the rules.
It's okay. Matt's got his beefs in a different way.
Oh, I was kicked out of the A-League.
You weren't kicked out. You weren't kicked
That sounds about right. That sounds on par with everything else.
I'm pretty sure Digger's team just slotted right in for mine too when we left.
Well,
I'm just messing with you, Digger.
I know you are.
You don't have an easy job here. You definitely don't.
I wouldn't expect anything different, would I, Matt? Come on. This is what fantasy football is all about and everything else.
True.
Jason, good to see you. Brandon.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, my connection's a little.
So yeah, so what you hear in the background is everybody else that's part of all these teams in the
Yes,
the industry
we hear
here.
Okay.
Thanks for having us, Digger. Yeah, thanks for putting this on again this year. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, it's a lot of work behind the scenes, as Amy can probably attest to, but it is a lot of fun, and we are trying to create different things. And I'll go over this afterwards. But the one thing, and Scott knows this because he's been around for a long time, but making the FSG expert leagues inclusive instead of exclusive has really.
But yeah, Wesley, I don't know the 305 hats you're
from the
talking
membership,
about.
and Matt, I know you've
You
commented
like this
on
hat
that
though?
as
Yeah, this is
well
one of the new hats. I
at
bought
times, as have others. So
bought two
we
new hats
appreciate that.
for this season.
So,
Aaron, what's
thanks.
going on? Steven, what's up, man? What's up, Ricky?
Mr. Golam Beck, how are you?
What's up, Tim?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me, Digger. I got the pre-draft jitters. You know, it's the first one of the year, obviously. At least for me, I don't do any of the mocks. I come in fresh, and it's exciting. I was like, oh, can't wait to do this again and see how the board plays out.
Well, it's always different, and I screwed up last night, as I told Matt earlier. I had a strategy. I was sticking to my strategy, and I was chirping everybody during the draft. I'd always go, "Oh, is it your pick now, Barry? Come on, you should take whatever, to distract them." Then, of course, I distracted myself, and I screwed up. And as soon as I screwed up, I knew it.
Who
And
won
then-
that league last year?
Mike Clay from ESPN.
Oh, nice.
So
I feel like he's always in the finals.
yeah, I know.
So yeah, what you guys hear in the background is the chat
I
from
have-
everybody else in this
My
league.
strategy is
I'm not gonna pull their
so
faces
thrown
up 'cause I don't know if they
right
want
now
that or
'cause
not.
I started my Scott Fishbowl tight end, quarterback. Does not
Hey, Caleb, what's
prepare
going on,
you for a
man?
normal draft.
Well, it is kind of fun, and we did our draft last night, and as I say, it didn't quite go the way I expected. So
Those are the ones that always work out for the best, though, right? I mean, it's you can prognosticate so much.
Hey, Caleb, appreciate the like, man.
Yeah, and I know I'm gonna be kicking myself because there was two guys I wanted to pick, and both of them I let slip away. So and literally let slip away. So it's not like the guy before them picked them, and I was like, you took my pick. It was dumb moves by me. So anyway, there you go. Not that you want to hear that story.
Digger, how long did everybody stay on Zoom last?
Actually, now that I think about it, I'll probably just mute their mics because if you don't see their face and stuff, yeah. So I'll just have them muted. 6 million messages I gotta send here. Yeah, we got 7 minutes. I got the first pick, so you already know I'm going CMC here. What's up, Caleb? What's up, Jonathan? All right. Weird. If I have my desktop audio muted, it's a whatever. It's all good. I was trying to figure out a way to have music in the background so it's not just like completely Hey Adam, what's going on, man? So yeah, we got 4 minutes till we start here. What's up, Tatted? Hey Barry, what's up, man? We got Mike in here with that San Francisco jersey every year. Same jersey for the draft. Die hard, man. Oh, oh yeah. That's it was a pretty big partnership we nailed down finally. Took us only like 7 ignored emails and it finally worked out. Yeah. I think I remember you holding it up though. You held it up, you're like, I'm going with this guy. Yeah. Yeah. And then Digger found a way to kick me out of the playoffs again. That's what you want. If that's what you want in the first round, man, you go ahead, Mike. You live your dream. uh So yeah, I have so I'm talking to the rest of the guys in this draft here, and I don't want to have their audio on. I feel like it would be weird if their audio was on there and you can't see their faces. You guys let me know or not. Yeah, they just said the drafts could actually be starting at 8:15. So even though my clock is at 90 seconds here, like another 15 minutes before they start, because not everybody's logged in. Yeah, we're just waiting at this point. We're just waiting for things to go. They're gonna start about 15 minutes later than they planned. They get kickers in the first round. I'm sending a message to Prize Picks myself as well to see if that helps. All right, so yeah, so even though he's just on my clock tick down to 0, but because we're still missing like a handful of people, they're going to they're gonna hold it for another couple minutes, make sure everybody's in here before we actually get started. That's why you see the little flashing 0-0 on the top. Oh, fantasy data is here. What's up, guys? Is this gonna be one of those candid "what am I doing" shots, or is this gonna be like a 3-2-1 shot? I need to know which side I need to look at, the left or the right. Ooh, that's probably too much noise. Digger, is the do we have the SiriusXM rep inside of this Zoom? Yeah, we're just waiting for everybody else to hop in here. Waiting for everybody else to hop in. Yep, and once we get everybody else, we're gonna get things started here. I think there's like 3 teams that are still missing. Adam, Caleb, Wesley with the likes, appreciate it. So yeah, this is a very, very lengthy, tedious situation, but we just can't start until everybody gets in the Zoom, and then the draft as well. Yeah, this is a 14-team league. There's like 3 teams that aren't even here yet. So we're just dilly-dallying until we get to start. Who are the Hold on. Who are the names we have under Prize Picks? Who is supposed to be repping them today? Johnny? All right. So yeah, they Mark, what's up, man? Appreciate the like. So apparently 2 of these teams, and we're all like top high level brands in the industry, right? There's 2 teams that aren't showing up, so they're literally getting kicked out. They're getting kicked out of the draft. It's 8:08 and they're not here yet. What's up, Jacob? So now we're replacing teams that aren't showing up with other companies. Yeah, we're just in a chaotic situation where not all teams are here, and we're not going to draft. We don't do auto draft or anything like that. Like they all have to be here because we're gonna be interviewed on SiriusXM radio and everything. So they're just they're trying to replace brands that aren't showing up with brands that are on the waiting list. Because the SiriusXM show is starting now. Hey, Ricky, what's up, man? Digger, I was asking about the XM rep just because I'm gonna make sure they're calling me and not James. Okay, thank you. Appreciated. What's up, guys? So, yeah, so I have we have the number 1 overall pick. If you've seen the top of the board, the big orange square, DFS Karma, that's the company that I run, fantasy sports company. Which, if you play DraftKings, FanDuel, SuperDraft, any of that stuff, you definitely want to check us out. We're top of the industry in providing winning content for those sites. But that being said, our whatchamacallit, our the number 1 overall pick, but you see we're flashing 0000. The problem is that not all of the companies you see on the top are here on time. And we have a live show, like that we're on live on SiriusXM, and they're like dragging their feet because they can't interview anybody because we haven't started, because we don't have all 14 people, and we can't just auto draft because that's not how these like high-end professional expert leagues work. There's no like, oh, we'll just auto draft till they show up, because if they never show up, then it looks like trash. So they're kicking companies out now that aren't here, because if you're not here, you're 11 minutes. You should have been here at 7:45, so they're like 20 minutes late. They're kicking companies out and bringing new companies in. So yeah, so we're just twiddling our thumbs while the higher ups are kicking out companies and adding companies that were on the waiting list. Which, like, I'm really close with like a few of these companies, and so I am sending them messages and texts like, where are you guys at? Like, how do you not show up on time? So yeah, we're just twiddling our thumbs at this point. What's up, Ryan? What's going on, man? Ricky, appreciate the like. Mark with the like. Ryan with the like. Adam with the like. Let's go, baby. Just twiddling our thumbs, waiting for this thing to start. They're kicking out brands. There's two companies that aren't here yet, so they're kicking them out. Adding companies that are on the waiting list. We can finally get this thing started. As you can see, I got the number 1 overall pick, so I'm that bright orange square in the top left. But we can't start until we have all teams here. Or all the teams are here, as in like literally physically, in the Zoom chat and signed in. But we've got 2 teams right now that aren't here, so they're just working on replacing the brands, the companies that aren't here. This is fantasy football, Ryan. We're doing a fantasy football draft here. 14 teams. Standard scoring. Nothing too crazy. Hosted on RTS Sports, part of the FSGA, which is the Fantasy Sports Gaming Association. If you don't remember, I run DFS Karma and Bet Karma, and DFS Karma is one of the top fantasy sports content media companies in the nation. Flip a cash. Where is... I'm looking for a certain... All right, I think we might be starting here. Well, it's not. Yeah, right. It's not even that they're late. It's that this is literally a high level, like top level. It's a top level SiriusXM fantasy. Like we're literally all on like XM radio right now, getting interviewed. And I can't believe there's companies that aren't here on time. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, man. Like you have to earn your way into this draft. Is this still the same format as last year where 3 wildcard teams, regardless of record, make the playoffs? Yeah, I just asked that question to the GM that organizes this, because the last 2 years we've lost the last 2 years we haven't made the playoffs. We had an amazing record, but they picked 3 wild cards based on total points scored. And it was nuts. Just to confirm again, we're good to go. I'm good to pick. All right. Let's do this. All right. Donovan McNabb, where are you at? Oh, done. Easy peasy. All right, I'm going to take a nap. Barry. So I just picked CMC number 1 overall because duh. If you're in a single, if you this entire year when you guys are drafting, if you ever get #1 overall pick, and you're in a full PPR league. If you don't get CMC, you're dumb. Antonio, what's up, man? What was the first two then? No, you said you said McCaffrey didn't go top 2. I mean, yeah, he was injured, but CMC can be seems. Mike's got to put the Kamara jersey back in the closet. uh, All right, I feel like it's weird me just talking to people you can't hear. So even though I'm not gonna pull their videos up, I'll pull their audio up so you guys can hear them chit chat back and forth here.
You
Risk
picked
profile changes entirely.
That's who I thought I was
Totally.
going to pick last night, Matt, at #4. I thought I was going to pick Kamara, and he was gone with the first pick. I said, that changes my whole strategy. I thought he'd be available. Chris Towers goes after his Travis Kelce.
It's
He set us up for that.
Go ahead. Now, Digger, I was gonna ask one more question. It's the first overall winner, not top 2, that move up to this Champions League, right?
Whoever wins the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whoever's the champion, who gets the majority of the prize money, gets the ring, and gets to move up.
You have to start making a ring for people that miss out on playoffs from technicalities, because I mean, I'm the champion of that by far.
I want to give Howard Bender a silver ring so he can get both a silver and a gold ring and be the first person to say he's got both. So
what's up, Johnny? I haven't seen your face in a couple of years.
In a minute, dude. How's it going?
Forgot I was on mute. So we don't have to worry about Trevis at all in this draft then, right? So if he's king of the technicality taking him out, then the universe will just do its thing.
Well, no, the
So,
problem
all right, one
is
less team
that
to worry about.
Howard, the problem is that my draft is great, my team is great the entire season, but the 3 wild cards score like 1, 2, or 3 more points than me, and then make it to the playoffs when I have like I could be undefeated in theory and miss the playoffs. That's the luck that I have.
Howard, really, Travis, you know your 3 dogs, the one you just got,
Yeah.
and how you're training them, and you're trying to say sit, no, sit, wait, all this stuff. Travis is that one, okay? He's the one that always has everything, and he has a reason for everything. And what I was supposed to wait till I have to go outside to go to the. So, no, just easy. Travis, you know I like having fun with you.
Digger just
The
compared
irony
me
of
to a
being
dog.
the rep of DFS Karma, right?
What was that, Howard?
I said the irony of being from DFS Karma, right? So you obviously did something bad in another life, Trev.
Probably what it is, man.
So I will say this: Travis came in second last year in the futures and props last year. He came in second.
Yeah, I got the second. We got second in futures and props, and we got second in the NBA fantasy league this year.
What was the big odds hit? for the props?
The guy that won,
won?
so the one that won futures, I think he hit Coach of the Year, MVP, and Super Bowl champion, which they're all pretty low, but because he hit the easy stuff, he got it. We got second place with we hit a lot of our stuff too. We had like Redskins to win the division, which was a big odds one. We had a few other things in there, but yeah, it was really close between like fifth, fourth, third, and second, and then first just had like 3x what we had because they got all the good stuff.
I did a whole thing on it afterwards where I put the numbers and how many bets they got right. One team did it just based upon props. So everyone was a 50-50 and they came in fourth place and they got the most right bets. However, they didn't obviously have any long shots come in.
Yeah, we were all talking about that too. I was like, I understand that you're trying to, if I don't know if that brand was like a props focused brand where you're trying to like tout your prop capabilities, but even if you go like 100%, if somebody hits one of their bets, they're going to beat you. So, I mean, like you said, they got majority of the bets right and still got fourth place because the payout was not good.
Yeah. But it was interesting to watch the strategies.
Yeah.
And the reason why I knew they wouldn't win probably was because so many people had bet at least on the things like MVP and Super Bowl champ, where the odds are higher. So therefore, all the top teams were picked in those categories. So unless somebody, like Jacksonville won the Super Bowl, you knew at least one of those bets was going to be a winner, and therefore that they wouldn't be able to win.
Digger, have you been tracking this futures league we did earlier this year, the All Sports Futures League?
No, but it's pretty cool, right?
Oh my gosh. We were, okay, so I am a huge tennis fan, and so I had a lot of future tennis picks in my draft. I had Tsitsipas to win the French Open. This man goes to the final, goes up 2-0 and sets against the Joker. And I'm like, all he has to do is win third, and because of the odds we got him at, we would be guaranteed first place. Guaranteed no matter what happened for the rest of the year. And this man loses 3 straight sets and comes in second. And I'm like, I swear, FSGA drafts, they hate me. They hate me.
As Howard said, it's karma.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. We gotta change our company name. All right, I gotta start making some texts and some phone calls here. It was crazy. Oh, I was so hyped watching that final and freaking blew it. He blew it.
Matt Walsh, good to see you in the draft room, by the way. I haven't heard any smack from you yet, though. So, by the way, everybody should give a round of applause. It's Matt who stepped up with Trophy Smack. They're going to be providing the rings going forward for all the FSGA League. So we really appreciate that, Matt. So thank you for that. Okay.
Awesome, man. Happy to do it. Yeah, thank you, Digger. Sorry, I've been on mute, just jamming away on the day here. I've probably knocked out 50 emails since we joined here. So apologize if you haven't had the normal Trophy Smack brand as a join, but we're
actually, Amy, do you mind muting Matt? We really only just want to say thank you. We didn't really want to have any conversations.
What you asked for, baby.
I'm just teasing you.
Derek Henry, the 7th pick, man. I'm psyched now.
That's good. No, I'm just teasing you.
All right. So
but thank you to you guys for stepping up to do that, because I know
with the second round here.
Just so everybody realizes, we actually had 3 fantasy basketball expert leagues this year, and the top 3 teams plus the top one other overall will move into the Experts Champions League this year. We had a hockey league this year, which Yahoo Sports stepped up and did the back engine for us. So Mike Graven and Laz, thank you guys for doing that. The back engine, we ran it on Yahoo Sports. So that was great. So again, if you want to get into these leagues, we really appreciate it. And happy to have you guys get involved.
Were we that 4th team in the NBA one? Because you said it was the 3 winners and then the next best. And I know I got second place, but I don't know in comparison to the other leagues.
You know what? I will check and see, because
let's just say it's probably not, because karma.
I will check that right now while we're talking. Either that, I might have to get Logan to give me the information here. 1 second.
I don't know what that would be decided on, because I mean we had a pretty high score in the final, but I don't know if it's like total points record or what that wild card is that gets that spot.
Logan.
Yeah.
access to those 3 basketball leagues.
Yep, I can get into those. So how are we doing the top 3? Are we doing?
It's based upon, so the top 3 it's only based upon the playoffs. So I need the final standings of the playoffs for each of those 3 leagues. If you can email them to me and just say, here are the 3 standings of the playoffs.
Wait, what?
And I'll look
Najee
at them and I'll be able
Harris
to
was
tell
got
who it is,
drafted
because the
in-
top 3 from each automatically move on. And then it was the
Cam Akers
best
and
4th place
Alvin
team
Ridley.
based on fantasy points.
Okay.
I need to have it anyway, because I've got to tell
Right.
the
Yeah.
teams. So
I'll get that out, sent out to you now.
Okay, great, thanks. And Travis, I'll be able to tell you then shortly.
Okay. That'd be a nice icing on the cake.
Anybody else here, hockey or basketball fans, that would want to get into either of those leagues next year?
Do basketball. That was Barry.
Yep, I saw it. Mr. Golum Beck.
Go on back. Yeah, however it works.
Yes.
All right.
The
What are we
worst
thinking
part
for
is
this next
when
one?
people
Here?
who actually speak Polish and know what it means and have a good chuckle at my last name. That's the best part.
And what does it mean?
It means I open myself up to that. Little bird or tiny bird. So you can imagine the chuckles that I get on occasion.
No comment on that.
Nah, I'll just share that with 14 strangers or so.
I call you Big Bird, but
strangers,
not
association
Little Bird.
mates. No, not Little Bird.
Trying to remember to put that into one in next year.
Yeah, I'm looking at rankings list right now. I'm almost I still got like what 5 or 6 more till I'm up again.
So we had do we have a 60-second clock or a 120-second clock?
There's no time limit on the clock per se, other than don't try to take 5-10 minutes if you can't, if you don't have to.
We're close, I promise.
Logan, most people are pretty quick. Every so often there's one round where you might be slow or something like that.
Yeah, there's 2 of us talking over Slack to determine our decision. So sorry about that.
Who was that, Travis? Who said that?
Wasn't me.
That was me, Graven.
That was Graven.
I know you and Laz are I knew you guys are probably talking over Slack.
Yeah.
All right.
The only team we're missing here, I think everybody's logged into the Zoom except for gaming talent, but
Yep. Just waiting on we have,
Matt
what,
Walsh has
5
to keep leaving
5
the
more
room
picks, then we
because
get
he needs to
double
get
doubles.
advice
So
from his
probably
kids on who to pick
we're most likely
next.
to be going like receiver, running back. I don't think there's gonna be any tight ends available here. No, doesn't look no tight ends. I
I'm
don't
just
think.
muting myself and asking my cats for advice.
Yeah, Ross.
Well, I see you dropped your partner this year. He was weighing you down the last few years.
Let's actually pull up the roster.
No, I was gonna say like it's nice to just be able to make the decisions on your own, but he's way smarter than I am, so that's a downgrade. And I'm really upset about Austin Eckler going just now. Thanks.
Well, that's a really good pick for the
Get
second
2 running
this point in the
backs, 3
second round.
receivers, 1
Again,
flex player.
Matt's kids are giving him great advice because Matt wouldn't have picked Austin Eckler
All right.
at this time.
Get 3
For him to do that at
3
all.
receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex that can be running back, receiver, or tight end.
We're maybe going to do an activation with him on some marketing stuff. So I've got all the reason.
But more than likely, we're gonna go running back, receiver, but there's a chance we could do receiver,
good.
receiver based on who's available. What's up, Ejo?
I've got him on my other fantasy team.
What's up, my dude?
Dynasty league.
Was torn on whether to go with him or Joe Mixon on the end of round 1.
I literally talked to Kevin today about not drafting Sooners, and he said, "Don't let that cloud judgment." So.
By the way, Brandon, thank you
So, yeah, if you
guys
guys
for all
can't
the
tell,
work you
I'm,
guys do behind the scenes. Obviously, Kevin and your team. with
Top
the summer
left, I got number 1
conference
overall
was great,
pick.
So thank
We
you.
got draw number 1, so we got CMC. Coming off an injury.
Going to, and we had so much fun.
Full PPR, so this
yeah,
man gets
to go
100
over
receptions a year
John
when he's fully healthy, 100 plus. So
And regarding
as long as he stays healthy, if they're winning, they're gonna run him. If they're losing, they're gonna pass to him. He's the complete package. What's up, Tyler?
Just review those terms and conditions. Sort it all out.
And we can add a karma clause to it
Oh, Giannis is starting
for legal
tonight.
technicalities.
Exactly.
Chris, I like the cat in the background.
They're just constantly crawling around my desk.
In case anybody is got money on it or wagering on anything, Giannis is officially active for tonight.
Wow. So, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys are participating. Johnny, I know one of your. Oh no, Travis, you're participating on Thursday. We're doing an in-gamer game. Yep. Johnny, one of your partners is doing that on Thursday. I think Ron's doing it.
DJL, no, this is a league. This is not a
Howard, I
mock.
was surprised that you guys didn't get into the in-gamer one on Thursday night, although Fancy can't do it
Yeah,
either.
so this is a
He's,
real
got
league. So the FSGA Expert League, Brian, they draft. We draft this early for the real for the NFL, and then we draft in like February for MLB. There's always usually a couple months ahead, but this is an actual league that we all these companies, all these brands, we compete against each other. It's like it's a small entry thing. It's mainly for just just for fun. We're SiriusXM radio right now is doing a bit on this right now. They're gonna be calling us individually. They're gonna be interviewing
us. To get a
us.
feel on the game, I can't.
So I'll be on SiriusXM. I got the number 1 overall pick, so I'm sure I'll be called first. Oh, am I up right now?
I'm not against it.
Crap.
I think I agree with you. I'm not against it. It's not for me personally.
No, this isn't a mock. This is a real league that's going to be going on throughout the season.
Not have anything else about it. I agree, and I still
drafting
bet.
early.
I don't bet a ton, but I have started. I've moved more to in-game, and I also love those like crazy parlays that you can put together. The joys of being.
Why aren't you in the in-gamer event, Barry? Why aren't you in the in-gamer event on Thursday night?
I don't think I saw it actually.
Come on, Barry.
Yeah, this is a busy time for your friends in the data delivery business leading up to the NFL season.
If you want in it, we might be able to make the exception to make and add another team to that.
All right, so I got back to back here. Let's see.
Yeah, we could definitely.
I hate David Montgomery. I'm not drafting David Montgomery ever.
Nerd passion in life, and I will be seeing Black Widow at 9 o'clock on Thursday night.
Sweet.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Very good. You gonna see in theater, or are you gonna?
Oh yeah, no, I went as soon as I went and saw Fast 9 the other week. I hadn't been in a year and a half fully vaxxed, and I love. You can ask my wife. I go 9, 10 o'clock on a Thursday night and sit in the theater by yourself and just escape from the world. That's the way to do it, man. I used to live in California and travel a ton, so I'm from Philly, and I learned. I got the passion and going to the movies by yourself. People are like, so how do you do it? And I'm like, it is the most relaxing thing one can do for themselves.
I did the same thing with Fast 9. It was the first time I love like having my day off during the week. Now I need my receiver. See some like silly movie that there's no way my wife would ever want to see.
Yeah.
And just like sitting in the theater by myself. It's great.
Yeah, chuckling at 2 guys driving a Pontiac Fiero, part of my spoiler.
Well, being in Toronto, our theaters are still closed, and they should open up hopefully in the next few weeks. But the reality of it is, I knew this pandemic would be a long time. So my partner, Wendy, she's sick of me by now because we went through all the Avengers series in chronological order. We went through all the Harry Potters, all the Fast and Furious, all those ones. But I said we could only watch one from a series a weekend. So we'd have date night.
Josh Jacobs and AJ Brown. I wanted
and she go, no, let's watch binge watch. And I say no, because and she would drive her crazy. I said, this thing's gonna last so long. We're gonna be thankful that we're like we have something to watch.
AJ Brown would have been number 2, but no, they have AJ Brown's got a small knock.
Watch one of the Harry Potters
because
watch the next one to the next.
They have Julio Jones now, so I give him a small knock because AJ Brown's got somebody else competing for his attention.
About 3 different times
for the targets
at this point.
There you go. So we did the Lord of the Rings as well. That was great. Those are amazing movies.
Lord of the Rings, every single Star Wars thing, including the
Star Wars was
cartoons
another
and-
one. We did all the Star Wars in chronological order, including the like the Solo and the Rogue One and all that stuff. And what other ones do we do? The Mission Impossible series.
Oh, those are great.
So, Born Identity.
But if you think the debatable.
Okay.
Swift had 4.6 yards a carry. 46. 4.6 and 4. I don't hate Jacobs. I just wanted to get Swift there, I feel like.
Yeah.
Last year, Jacobs had 3.9 and only 33 receptions. Yeah, Swift has a higher yards per carry and more receptions. And
Assuming that's AJ Brown and not Antonio Brown, you checked.
And that was
Matt.
And Swift had a
It
short
is. Sorry, I'm
season too,
just on
didn't
the
he?
phone with Derek. We're trying to figure
I
out this
figured you were. I figured you were.
No, I like the pick in Swift. He does more with the ball when he gets the ball. Yeah, he gets like at least 5 catches a game. 4 or 5 catches a game.
It's one of 2 picks that I
Well,
thought.
no,
you were gonna
AJ
take,
Brown wasn't
and
picked
you took
before us. I had a chance to get AJ Brown, but I
one
went
of them
with
that
DK
does.
Metcalf.
So interesting.
What's up, Logan? Appreciate the like, man.
Can't tell if this is my bias or if I'm making smart choices. It's so hard.
Yeah, it's your bias. It's your bias. Just so you don't know. It's like, well, you
I
know,
got
with
3 guys from the NFC East. I mean, that was not my intent. That's the type of thing I just avoid.
Fitz Magic throwing the ball this year, at least to start with, McLaurin has
He's
no
good for like 4 games at the start of the season. That actually makes me feel good.
So it's actually harder doing a virtual draft with a partner over the phone because you don't want people seeing you or hearing you.
Exactly. Last night, one of the teams was talking. I kept saying to him, "You're not on mute." So, it's like,
Is anyone watching the match?
no.
No.
By the
No
way,
Dolphins?
Travis, for the tennis, did you? The 2 Canadians have made it through to the quarterfinals.
Man, we had both of our top American women upset like within like an hour span. Madison Keys and Coco Gauff, who was on a tear. So after all the American women are eliminated, the tournament's over for me.
There you go. Spasta, I put a private message in there for you. I had a question in the chat room.
I'm not going to say it yet because he wasn't picked.
I know, but you could put it in a private chat to me if you want.
Oh, private. Actually, he was picked. It was Mahomes.
Okay.
Digger, I'll be back. I'm connecting to Sirius right now. So.
Okay, we'll pick for you,
Okay.
Howard. No.
Akash, what's up, man? What's going
Digger, I
on?
was looking
I'm
all
not
over
big
the
on
place for
Jacobs,
my
but he does
ring.
get a lot of
It's been
touches.
sitting
He
on my
does,
desk
yeah.
for the last, like,
He gets a lot of
6
touches, but
months. Because
You
my
didn't
ring-
know
are
it
you
was there?
banking on?
And you didn't know it was
He
there?
doesn't
What?
get a lot of
And you
catches.
didn't know it was
No,
there?
I thought it was there. It was behind my
So
computer.
are you
It's been there
banking
for a while. I
on
was looking for it. I just wanted to
So
floss
if you
it.
get him before Swift,
Not a
you're banking
floss.
on the Raiders
There
leading
you
a lot of
go.
their games.
Well, I have to enjoy mine while I can.
And if you think the
Although
Raiders are going to
Trophy
be
Smack
winning
is
a
gonna
lot
be
of their
making
games, then
trophies
yeah.
as well that they'll bring to the annual conferences, I'm assuming, right?
But until
Trophy
they
Smack,
do,
right, Matt?
I'm not going to put them in there like that.
How many trophies are we making?
All of
How many
them.
trophies? You're making the 4 trophies for the championship, aren't you?
Yeah. So I just heard trophy smack. I didn't hear what you guys
Well, we
said.
got 14 teams in this league, so that's 14 trophies right there, right?
Now, I am psyched about the Vegas conference. Dallas was fun, but we're missing some usual suspects. But we're gonna have all of the Expert League trophies. We're gonna have the rings. It's gonna be epic. We got some other fun things planned.
Some cool stuff. So
Yeah, Kosh, we
we're
had the number
hoping
one
to
overall
have one of the
pick.
things that I suggested to have.
Yep, it's CMC,
is a
of course. It's full
podcast corner.
PPR. If you
And
want
you
to
can
kick
do
back
your
to
own
us, I
podcast
wanted
from
to get a
there, sort of
receiver
thing.
and a running back, so we went Swift
So
Metcalf.
be an idea that we might try out there.
Nice. Hey, what's the group's opinion on a fantasy foosball tournament at the conference in the in between time?
Well, I could be the partner of anybody. That
I was like, wait, how would that work?
I feel like there might have been some money going around on a foosball tournament back in the Minneapolis tournament or conference.
Oh man, I missed that boat. That was just what, 2 years ago?
I think so.
The summer of
3 years ago.
It sucks when you get the
That
number
was
one
the chair
overall
of that
because you don't get your
conference.
next
It was,
pick. You're the last person to get your
2018,
second pick, and that second pick is
Yeah,
me,
Chris,
the
because
most
we did the
important.
draft. Remember, we did the draft
Yeah.
in the
But as
in
long
the-
if
the
DeAndre
hotel,
Swift can
the
stay
Marriott
healthy,
lobby type of
we're
thing.
solid so
Everybody
far.
came in
It
and
seems if
talking.
nobody
Travis
gets
was there,
hurt,
I think.
That was a great one, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good call.
Minneapolis in June is great weather. That's perfect. A lot better than Dallas.
when was the June meeting? That had to be way before I started attending these things because I can't even remember there being one scheduled there in
Oh,
Minneapolis.
no, you were okay. No, because Laz and Graben were there.
Yeah, it was June 18th because LA was January 18 and we had launched 3 weeks
exactly.
prior to going there, and then Minneapolis was our second conference.
Yeah, because Adam and I did the Adam
Okay.
prize picks. Johnny's boss.
It
or
was
partner.
definitely 2018. That was the last time I saw Lars Michael before he passed away. Lar
At
Michael.
Firehouse Subs,
2019
a portion
was
of every
in
purchase
New
helps
York.
provide
2020
life-saving
was a
equipment to
write-off.
first responders.
And
Every
this year
sub
was
makes a
Chris
difference,
Evans.
so we make
anyway,
our
just so
subs
everybody
different.
realizes,
Like
it's
our new
actually
chicken
February
hero
this year
sub
is the
with a
conference,
pepperoncini
and it's right after Super Bowl weekend because obviously Super Bowl got pushed back a week because of the schedule. So hopefully you can make it out, and it's at the link again. So we'll be there.
Yeah, I think the first one I went to was the one after that, which was Tampa 2019 winter. That's when I started going to them.
Yeah, Tampa was right. Yeah, because Los Angeles was 2018. 2017 was Nashville, or 2016 was Nashville. No, there's
That's
some-
right. And the year before that was Dallas.
Dallas was right after Dallas was 2016 because that was right after the AG had ruled in October in 2015. So Dallas was there. We had Mark Cuban come and stuff. So
For these kind of drafts, what you want to do is you want to
Denny,
kind
by
of
the way, good to see Ed Williams get
you
you
want
guys
to stay
involved.
unless you can
Yeah.
get Kelsey.
He's been right on top of it.
I don't
since
even
last
know. I
fall,
feel
trying
like
to get you guys involved in the expert league. So that's great.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I guess if you can't lay in the top three, then you just need to wait till a very, very late round to get a tight end.
Yeah, I recommended somebody else from your company and not you, but he said no. I'm just teasing.
So those three are
I was-
legit:
I was
Kelsey,
fourth
Waller,
string.
Kittle. But if you
No,
don't get
no,
those
no,
three, you just wait to the end because there's not that much of a gap
Just had
between the next
first
up
right
and then the
before
people at the
my pick
bottom.
snipe with CD Lamb going as I had him queued up. One
So
pick.
funny.
to go.
Same thing happened last night. Cooper went just before CD Lamb.
Yeah, their ADPs are identical pretty much.
So I've got a quick question for Johnny and Ryan. So Johnny, just so you know, you weren't alone in being late onto the call. Did you guys both forget, or did you just truth be known?
And then got the
Oh, the
from Travis after, and then took another 10 minutes to try to get on, getting through the login.
right, you're Brandon on the wheel here with 2 picks. It's always funny whenever you look at somebody else's draft, you go, shit, I should have done this instead of my draft.
Digger's being a backseat drafter right now.
No pressure. I'm just pissed off about mine. I just got to suss up the competition because I realize I'm going to be relegated this year after my screw up last night.
Hey, Mike, what's going on? What's up? What's up, Blockman? So yeah, the company that I run, if you guys don't remember, I would say my 9 to 5, but it's mainly my 365. It's not really a 9 to 5 fantasy sports company that I run. But yeah, DFS Karma is a fantasy sports content media company that focuses on content for like DraftKings and FanDuel, all that daily stuff.
I have a visitor.
We've been invited to compete in these expert drafts for the last couple of years, so
Cool.
we're in this one again. Decided to stream it.
We had Chris Towers' dog.
Since this is usually my streaming time anyway, on the nighttime stuff.
He's helping me draft. He's a Velcro dog. It's a French breed. I think you pronounce it cotton, C-O-T. It's C-O-T-O-N. Yeah.
I have a Shih Tzu poodle. That looks kind of like that. That's why I asked.
Oh yeah. He's hypoallergenic, and
yeah,
it's the only kind we could get with my kids being allergic.
I hope he barks less than my dog.
Oh, we're sharing. This is Lucy.
There you go. Hi,
Say
Lucy.
hello.
Say hi. Oh,
golden doodle.
When Howard comes back, you'll have 3 dogs, I think, to introduce.
What do you have in your beard? Huh? Yep. I'm up.
All right, so the way back, this roster's 3 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. So out of the back-to-back, we definitely have to get another receiver.
No, I thought that's where Ziggy was going.
Long time cup truther here.
Depending on who's available at running back, possibly a running back, but definitely want to focus on maybe the receiver, running back. Depending on who's available to us. Quarterbacks are only 4 points for passing touchdowns.
I just realized.
So quarterbacks are weaker than a lot of leagues, because there's a lot of leagues out there that have 6-point touchdown passes. This one's only got 4, so that's why quarterbacks are not as high of a premium in this type of league.
Chris, wouldn't you like that?
I mean, I've already gone way off my rankings already, so.
This is usually the time I sit with Ziggy on the couch and watch TV, so he's wondering why I'm not there.
Well, more important things to do at this time.
Yeah, wandered into the office. Said, "Hey, basketball's on." My DFS lineups are blown to hell now that Giannis is playing. I'm desperately scrambling here.
All right, Digger. Mike Raven's gonna be in charge for Yahoo since I gotta head out. I came back to the office for the first time today.
No way. How was it? What's the experience like?
So the only people here were like our sports product and engineering team.
We got.
So it's been it was a very quiet first day.
You're in LA though, right? Still?
Yeah.
Okay. Just before you leave, head out.
6 more picks
just
till
ask
us.
A generic question, no political behind it. How many people on this have not had their vaccine? Put up your hand. So everybody's had their vaccine shots. Very interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we met up 2 months ago in our office because everybody in our media team at least had gotten vaccinated. So we had a little lunch.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Well, hopefully everybody's family stays safe and stuff like that. And, let's get through this. The good news is we'll be able
You know
to
what I would
travel, and
like?
I'm going to get down to the States.
I would
in the
like to
next
get Mike
month, so,
Jasicki.
actually be in.
Mike
If anybody's
Jasicki.
in Denver or Chicago,
I can
or
wait for a long
Phoenix,
time to
let
get
me
him
know,
though.
'cause I'd obviously like to see you guys. So
Yeah. Good
Last
luck,
take-
everybody. We'll see you guys in the next conference.
Laz, good seeing you. Okay,
Yeah.
stay in
See you
touch.
guys.
All right, 4 more
I'll
picks
let
till we're
Laz
up.
know later how
Julio
everyone
Jones. It's
stays.
so crazy to me. It blows my mind that Julio
Big
Jones
time.
just got drafted in the 4th round after
What hat
like
do you have on, Mike?
7,000 years of him going
Giants.
first in the first round.
First place Giants.
But now he's
Yeah,
going in the
who
4th
knew?
round in
Who
Tennessee.
Who
knew?
saw that coming? Who saw that
Let me
coming?
see. I'm sure the Padres and the Dodgers didn't see that coming.
Not no chance. It's been fun to watch. I think they I don't know if they'll win the division, but I think they're a playoff team at this point.
Right.
So.
Well, has anybody been to a major sporting event so far in the last month or two?
I went to
Was
that Bucks Nets game 7 in Brooklyn.
No
That
way.
was super fun.
Wow, cool.
I was at Sixers Wizards game 2, and I was at the Phillies game, which wasn't as well attended on Saturday with my kids.
After the FSGA conference, a lot of us went to the that Rangers game in Dallas.
Right. Yeah. Was
That
there-
that was a Rangers Giants game that went to extra innings. The Giants bullpen blew it, right? And the Rangers won in
Yeah, that was the
innings.
first time I ever experienced the new extra innings rule in person because I don't go to a lot of baseball games, so it's pretty interesting to see that.
Yeah, that game was frustrating to watch for sure.
Yeah. Do you like this 7-inning rule and this and double headers and extra inning rule? Like, I mean, it's really like this feels like they're doing everything they can to make pitchers not have to pitch anymore and things like that. It's just like,
All right, 2 more till we get to us. Kyle pitched.
I
Oh yeah,
looked it up
Kyle Pitts,
yesterday.
rookie with
There have
Atlanta.
been something like 54 pitching appearances by real position players, so not even counting Otani. 10 years ago, there were 8.
yeah, like, I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's maybe because everybody throws 100 miles per hour, 99, it's just the strikeout home run thing. And I as much as I'm not a Kansas City Royals fan, I love part of baseball, which is create offense.
Or just any kind of action.
Right.
I'm a Kansas City Royals fan.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get
I
want to
would
get him or
rather
not.
watch most other teams at this point.
Well, they were talking
Uh,
this year, not
Oh, okay.
not 20 when they were winning.
Juju
uh,
back.
I like the fact that they, as soon as they got guys on base, they made things happen. The Rays play that style. By the way, I'm still a diehard Expos fan. Not that anybody cares.
I have an Expos hat. Just
There you go.
coincidentally.
One of the most aesthetically pleasing
Yes.
teams in Major League history.
Agreed.
It's funny. They did a vote of the fans in the late 80s and in the early 90s. And the 3 top uniforms and
Dante
logos
Hyde.
voted in Major League Baseball at the time were Yankees, Dodgers, and Expos.
Yeah. I agree with the Expos one most of all on that.
It was actually number 1, I think, but it was there's a
Yeah, I'm gonna
base
go.
signed by
I'm gonna go
Vladdy
Andrews.
Burrow Senior from the last home opener in Montreal.
No, I'm not.
For those of you that got to go to the game in Texas, how was that new stadium? Did you guys like it?
Travis, did you like the new stadium in Texas?
I guess. Trevor,
Sorry,
you're
I'm on the
wrong.
clock. I'm trying to do my back-to-back here real quick.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
You're good. But no, yeah, it was. I mean, it's when I walked in there, it reminded me of the Falcons football stadium. When I walked in, it kind of had the same opening. I was confused when I first walked in. I was like, wait a second, am I in Atlanta? No, it's pretty nice. All right, let me.
For the record, I went on record on air and said that all your teams stink. You guys are drafting like garbage, and good luck finishing 2nd through 14th.
You're not wrong.
I just didn't want anybody to be like, I heard
Purely-
Bender said something and he didn't say it to my face. So say it to all your faces right here in the Zoom.
Howard, I'm sure you were chirping me last night too in my picks. So, you know.
No, I pretty much ignored your entire team, Digger. I was like, man, it's just not even worth talking about. Like, I mean, if this were like a CFL draft, then maybe.
Well, I thought Flutie was still available and was playing, so I don't know what happened. It was like I was a little confused.
I still have a box of Flutie Flakes somewhere.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's great. By the way, Howard, while you were gone, people introduced their pets. So if you have any of your 3 dogs you want to introduce, do so.
They are all in the house. They're all in the house. You guys couldn't handle my.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Andrews there.
This is David Bowie.
Hello, David Bowie.
My if it wasn't clear, my dog's full name is Ziggy Stardust. So
excellent.
We're
Big
on the
fan.
same page.
Big fan. I went bonkers when Fish covered that album for Halloween.
I'm not familiar. What did they cover?
They covered all of
Yeah.
Ziggy Stardust as
Oh.
their musical costume.
Oh, nice.
We should Adam Thielen and Mark Andrews there.
Does anybody recognize this mascot?
But Shawnee, what's going on, man?
What's his name?
Is that Gritty's little brother?
Appreciate the like. What's up, Joe? Yeah, no, Gesicki.
Yeah, you.
He'll be available
Exactly,
later on,
it's
so we can have him as like a backup
Yeah,
tight end,
I was
especially
like
because we can
Montreal
start 2 tight
Canadiens.
ends at the same time if we want to. Not saying we're going to, but and I really like this team on paper so far. I was thinking about getting a third running back, but it would be everybody right now would pretty much be reaching.
Andre Dawson.
There's no running back that I really like. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go get my dog. Apparently, everybody's showing off dogs to the camera in the Zoom, so I gotta go get my dog to show off.
I like those 2 back-to-back picks, Travis.
Not me. They were garbage.
Well, I'm talking for second place. I'm not talking for first, Howard. You know.
Just making sure, Digger. Just making sure. Oh, Travis is back. Stop talking about him, guys.
All right, all right. This is the only dog that's easy to pick up. Since we're showing off here.
I thought both those picks were all white.
This is my Frenchie, psychopath.
Oh, I better go get mine then.
That's
I locked her out of the room.
She was sleeping, and as soon as you like went to go get her, she's like, "I freaking hate you."
She looks way too calm for a Frenchie.
Oh yeah, this one. Well, she's chill when she's sleepy, which is 99% of the time. But that 1% that she wants to be awake is chaos.
Are they really rambunctious dogs? Yeah.
They got a lot of energy. They think that they are 70,000 times the size they are. So she'll always. I have a really old kind of like a mix. I guess he's Greyhound, Black Lab, Jack Russell, and he's like 3 or 4 times the size of her, and she'll just like pick on him every day, like, "I'm gonna beat the crap out of you." He's like, "Leave me alone, I'm old." But no, she was definitely sleeping when I picked her up, so she hasn't woken up yet, even though her eyes are open.
Right. Very, very sleepy.
You hate me, don't you? I'll let you go now.
So just a quick thing here. Ryan, Howard, and Mike Graben, I think you're all in the Bay Area, correct?
No, I'm in New York.
How are you? Okay.
Upstate New York, yeah.
Fashionably
also,
late,
Matt, you're
Courtney
in New York,
says.
correct?
Yep.
I hold her. I just tell I have 2 cameras going on now. I have this camera, my stream camera, and then I have a camera for the Zoom for this draft. So I held it up to the Zoom camera. But you guys already know what Peach looks like.
I actually moved to Brooklyn.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When did you move?
About 4 months before the world shut down.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in Florida. Good old Hurricane Elsa, right outside my window.
Chris, where in Brooklyn are you?
Oh, right.
Williamsburg.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we were in Brooklyn Heights. We had to leave during all the madness.
Yeah, things got Things got real weird here.
I'm trying to think of. So I was just talking to my guys on my team, and they said that I should have went with
Brandon, you're
DJ
both in
Moore.
the Frisco, Dallas area, correct?
I'm in
I
Philadelphia.
probably should have went DJ Moore over. I should have went DJ Moore over Mark Andrews because you can get we can get Gesicki later on. We can get a lot of tight ends later on. I had in back of my mind, I was already taking so much time on the clock that I was like, okay, I need to pick somebody. I can't just milk the clock forever. What's up,
In a
Chase?
suburb of Kansas City.
Okay.
About 10 minutes east of Royal Stadium.
Oh, cool. And it's also, isn't Kansas City also the home to the Negro Baseball Hall of Fame, correct?
It is.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Scott, where are you these days?
I'm in Westchester, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia.
Okay, so you and Barry are in similar areas. Matt Walsh, I said you were in Southern California, correct? You're in.
That's right. I got my shorts, flip flops, my year-round uniform is intact. Freaking a cold one, can't complain.
Looks like Sierra Nevada.
That's right.
And Johnny, where are you? Are you in Atlanta or are you somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. And Denny?
Sorry, I had that on mute. Yeah, I'm in Rockville, Maryland, which is like 20 minutes outside of DC.
Well, you could be our lobbyist then for the FSTA. Send you over there a few times.
It is a short metro ride. Yeah.
Cool.
Not sure how I would fare as a lobbyist, but I am close.
And Logan, not to leave you out, even though you're sitting through this whole draft and not drafting, you're in St. Louis, correct?
Yes, St. Louis, about 20 minutes from Busch Stadium.
So, Jason, are you in Missouri or Kansas?
I'm in Missouri. Definitely not in Kansas. I'm a Missouri grad. We have beef with Kansas.
I would imagine that. Mizzou
I basically get to root against the Jayhawks in basketball is like the only thing I can root for in college basketball because Missouri stinks. And
Hey, I went to Missouri State. I hate both MU and KU. So.
Oh man.
Missouri and Missouri State, is that what you said?
Was it Southwest Missouri State when you went there, or was it Missouri State?
No, it was Missouri State.
Okay. I'm so old. It was Southwest Missouri State when I was in college. So I just got a text. I'm going to go on the air. It looks like in about 12, 13 minutes. I should be able to make my picks on the next two turns here coming up, and then I'll mute out.
Okay. Say nice things about us.
I will. Other than the team that drafted Mike Davis. I don't know who that is. And I'm sure it's a really nice person that said nice things about everybody else.
No, I'm a son of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Okay, good. I won't feel bad.
Don't.
Trying to see how. Oh, there's the bye week. I have a 9. Freeze 13.
Did you want him, Jason? Is that what it is?
I had him marked as my 0 RB strategy. He was like the key in the 6th round.
Whoa.
I had him like earmarked.
Boy.
6th round?
Yeah.
Sixth round.
That's when I wanted him.
That's some wishful
Who do you honestly think is in this draft?
Running backs. Lots of them. Like 3 per team.
I've learned that the hard way. That's not quite the case.
Yeah.
Wow, the internet is killing me for my Kyle Pitts 4th round pick.
Uh-oh. Tell him let's go big or go home.
It was either Eckler or Kelsey, so that probably tells you what it would have been.
Pitts, that was a good pick. Pitts was fine.
Thrilled if Eckler had been there in the 2nd round, and in
Take some
retrospect,
swings.
Seeing George Kittle.
Well, Julio's gone. Like Matt Ryan likes his tight end / wide receiver, and Pitts his boat. So.
Is it the first time Julio Jones has ever been drafted in the 4th round?
Earlier than I normally would, just because tight ends run thin, and I didn't want to be stuck taking 2 in the 12th round.
I think this is the first time Julio Jones has ever been drafted in the 4th round, right? On a PPR league.
His rookie year, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit on an island with Michael Thomas. Obviously, I think when you look at the Saints, there's a lot of questions about what their offense is going to
I'm
be.
mainly watching.
Who's
to
live
see-
right now?
Yeah, somebody's.
Who is that?
Probably Jason
Is that
giving us his entire draft.
Yeah, it's like everybody be quiet. Let's auto draft for him while he's not here.
Yeah. It's Jason talking to his dog, doing with his draft strategy. Who do I take? Do I take Sparky or?
Yeah, Sirius hasn't even called him yet. He's just running through what he would say in the interview.
It's not me. It's somebody else.
I know it is on tape delay. So
Yeah.
Is it Towers?
Somebody else. I was gonna say I'm mainly watching to see who hasn't been traumatized by Odell Beckham, and when he goes, like, we'll see who doesn't have the emotional scars
I have Michael
from
Thomas
the last 5 years.
higher than the consensus for sure, and taking him in the second round, I'm happy.
he's at the game in Cleveland the night that he came in to replace Tyrod Taylor and start his basically the career. And Tyrod got injured, and he started the second half and won against the Jets.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think one of the ways I like to look at it is, if everybody's going with one approach, you
Doesn't
can
matter
go
what's
with that
in
same approach. There's nothing
Well,
wrong with it.
Tyrod's basically launched two different careers at least.
Yeah.
Three possibly. Launched Justin Herbert's, launched Baker Mayfield's, and I guess you could say in a roundabout way Josh Allen's.
I have a feeling that whatever this kid is, Davis Mills, I'm gonna guess he doesn't go off like Herbert did last year when he replaces Tyrod in week 2.
With that build, I'm going against one
Good
other
guess.
guy in this league. So I think that, kind of helps put
That has to be one of the freakiest breakouts ever. The coach didn't even want to play him, and in week 2 he breaks out with a punctured lung to the starter.
I know.
And once you get outside of that top 30-ish picks, historically, running back is a very.
By the way, did that doctor or whatever get fired after that? I'm sure. So
Historically, over the last 5 years,
You would think.
running backs taken out in the 4th and 5th round, they only scored 200 points about 18% of the time over the course of the season. So
Fired. You should have got promoted.
I'm a believer in that.
Got Tyrod out of there and got Herbert in.
You want to avoid, and so as I look ahead to the 6th round, maybe there will be some RBs that fall to this area, but I'm still happy to go with a 0 RB build.
Where's the Super Bowl at this year?
Oh, where is it?
Arizona or
Wherever Tom Brady plays.
Inglewood, California.
It kind of depends.
SoFi.
Whether I had
Yeah, SoFi Stadium.
already in that second pick, but I am comfortable taking Mahomes in the 3rd round, regardless of who's already on my team. I like the idea of stacking, but for me with Mahomes, it's more.
I mean, I would take a trip to the moon if the Dolphins make it, so doesn't really matter where it is
There
actually.
are other quarterbacks who can top him in scoring. Lamar Jackson.
The year, baby. The year.
Guys did in 2020, but it usually takes another guy's career year to top Patrick Mahomes, and what we saw from Patrick Mahomes in 2018 is his career year is also, arguably better than anyone else's. So I do think he kind of stands.
Jalen Waddle's gonna have at least one catch on SportsCenter top 10 every week. Lock it in.
I want to take a QB early, but I'm actually okay with it with Mahomes, given how deep wide receiver is this season. If I'm going with I
Chris,
just
that you-
realized I had my mic
Yeah, you
unmuted that
were.
whole time, didn't I?
We all heard.
I'm
We all
real
heard.
sorry. That must have been so obnoxious. I'm so sorry about that.
We were,
That is
we were
unprofessional.
No, it's good insight.
Oh,
Now we know
so
where you're
bad.
going next.
We know everything.
Nobody wants any players like
Who's
Josh.
Fanjections? That's like the second time in a row
It's Ryan.
the pick was taken one spot before me.
Right.
We're on a
Hey,
hot
man.
streak. On a hot streak.
Doesn't that feel good, Ryan? Doesn't that just, that's worth the price of admission, you know?
Confirmation.
Howard's greasing his palms over there, and Ryan's going, yes.
And now James Robinson, may he be the 1 year wonder that, obviously I was going to be wrong. And why would you want to invest in a guy who had nearly 1,400 yards or whatever he had last year? Dang it. Okay. So I guess I'll make my pick. Sorry. Honestly, all the value is quarterback, but there's so many of them.
They go fast at a certain point, Jason.
Yep,
Just so you
yep.
know.
Yeah, so talking about my guys, looks like we're just he says just focus on doing the best available player.
Put a few of them in.
We're
We'll see
focusing
who
on
they
here.
are.
What's up, Mark? Welcome back.
He's gonna add a few.
If you really want to mess with me,
We
do
got a
like
while
the,
before we come back to
tight end David Johnson.
far end of this draft. We got like an
I'll
hour
put
until we get
Duke
to draft
Johnson
again.
instead of, So just so you know, at any point in time, and Howard, you might want to get this fixed on this site too, because we don't know why it's not showing up. But at the bottom, you can click on underneath the draft board. You can
Checking back
there's a
in.
button you can press on that says Fantasy Pros Evaluation, so you can see how you're doing at any point in time in the draft. At the end of the draft, at the top, you'll be able to see one for Fantasy Alarm and for Fantasy Pros. But Howard, you might want to check on it because the Fantasy Alarm one is not activated yet within RT Sports. So make sure you follow up with Logan afterwards to see how that can be activated. Did you hear that, Howard, by the way? Okay, cool. Perf.
Yes, I forgot that I was on mute. I'm sending a message to tech right now.
Yeah, I just figured you guys would want to know that so that people can
Yeah,
start.
100%. 100%.
That's a friendly thing. That's not.
Be back in a
that's
second.
not
I'm gonna grab
fire
the
across the
adult beverage
bow.
here.
It's a friendly thing for you.
Appreciate it.
So I just clicked on CBS Sports evaluation, and they've got so far a C- in their picks. So just in case anybody wants, no, they don't. Just easier.
I have returned. What's up, Dougie D? Man, so long till our pick. Guess sneeze here in a second. And I did. So they have this evaluation tool built into it where you can click on it and it'll pull up Fantasy Pros evaluation of the draft. And I mean, because we had CMC, I'm guessing we were ranked #1 in everything by a good chunk of points, like by 30.
We're getting to the point in the draft where I feel like I screwed up last night, and then everything went downhill from there.
You have to play through the adversity, Digger. You know, you can't. It's a mental game as much as anything else.
Well, I've learned that through Trevis, and so that's what I've done the past couple of years.
Wait a second.
I've played through adversity and come through. So, you know, I did my own shortcomings.
Digger, you've been around long enough to know fantasy seasons are won in season. Come on.
I know, and you have to get out. So it's funny. So a lot of you don't know this. I started Fantasy Sports Services back in 1989. And what's really interesting to see, if you go back through the years, we used to do 16-team leagues, and you draft 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 4 receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 kickers, 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 DBs. That's back to 1989. We started doing that. But in every year, bar none, for the first 10 years, to Matt's point, is that we could go back and either a top 10 running back, top 10 wide receiver, or top 10
I think what I'm going to do here,
top 5
he's
quarterback
available.
was not drafted.
I'm going to get Russell Wilson
in
at
the
quarterback
actual
to pair
draft
with DK.
that many rounds. And like I remember back in '89, it was Don Majowski.
So Russell
Magic
Wilson
Man,
and
guys Green.
Oh,
for
Devonta
Trent Green, the
Smith.
quarterback for the Rams.
He just picked.
Always,
Nice delay.
Arian Foster a couple of years ago, guys like that who were ending up in the top 5 or top 10.
I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to make it. He's the next he's the next best
that
QB
weren't
available.
drafted. So it's, to your point, Matt, it's you win or lose throughout the season when you go along.
The year that we won the Experts League, my finals, my championship team started Damian Williams and CJ Anderson.
Yep.
So
Nice.
you know how it goes.
Yeah, I can't remember who I was talking to, but it's relevant for my draft now. I made the point that if you go 0 RB, you just kind of have to remind yourself over and over that, like, you're going to look at your team by the end of the draft and say, ooh, there are some holes on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to remind yourself that, yes, but at some point, every other team in the league will have holes at running back as well. And
well, 2 years
hopefully
ago, I got chirped on SiriusXM for picking Devonte Parker, and he had a great season. And not that I knew he was going to. I would like to say that I knew he was going to, but I didn't know he was going to. And then last year, my last pick was Damien Harris. And of course, I dropped him in week 3 and week 4. He had the 100-yard
Oh,
game.
no.
So, you know,
Yeah, I can say from experience that the best way to draw, Twitter approval from a draft is to just hammer running back early and often. That's the #1 guaranteed way to get everybody on Twitter to say, "Great draft." If you do anything differently than that, you're gonna get
So true.
You're gonna get trashed. I mean, like, and because it doesn't, like Chris said, it doesn't look good. You have like a 9th or 10th rounder as your RB2.
I just realized that
for some reason people are train when they learn the game. That
The
you
CBS
gotta
Sports have
at
zero
least a
running
few
backs.
strong running backs, and if you don't,
Everybody
have that,
else has at
those
least
days
2.
are
Some have 3.
Yeah, and you're right. And it's so hard
NBC
because
Sports
it's not
has
necessarily how you
1,
win
but
it.
yeah, CBS
It's,
Sports only has no running backs.
You know,
They're doing the
only
0 running
one
back
thing usually
theory.
is you
Yeah,
can't win it in
they
the
got the best
draft,
tight
but
end to go with the
sometimes
best
lose it in the
quarterback.
draft. And that's
With Michael Thomas, Julio
team
Jones,
rules
Curtis
a lot of
Samuels. I mean, they're stacked on the PPR side, but they need to get a.
One thing is most of you guys are sharpshooters, so it's on the waiver wire. It's pretty good to watch the activity.
Yeah.
How does everyone like this format versus the every player's on waivers and it runs, Wednesdays and Saturdays versus waivers run once and then everyone's available for pickup? It just comes down to like who's available to make pickups when news is broken.
Yeah,
I like the
personally,
set
I don't.
times.
Personally, I don't mind it because a large part of my job is going through like every single injury report every single day and writing about it. So, there's a lot of opportunities when you do that.
But you got a problem with? Wait,
I
aren't
don't
you from
mind-
Detroit,
That shows you
Brandon?
good benefit.
So what? Are you
Yeah,
hyped
but
about that
I
pick
don't-
then?
Like when I'm playing
Yeah,
in my league,
we want to get Swift as our second running back. What I was saying earlier is I hate drafting number 1, number 2 overall because you'll get like an amazing running back, number 1, number 2, even number 3, but then all the way back you'll get trash in your second round. And I hate having a stud running back and then a trash second running back because if the stud gets hurt or if he's out for like a game or 2, then you're never gonna win a game. So that's why I wanted to get a running back as quickly as
At least you have
possible.
a deadline for everybody to at least get in because everybody's work life experience is a little bit different, and you at least have that first chance where everybody has it's an open bid, and then after that it's a free for all type of thing. What this is, we should be chirping Jason right now. He's on Sirius, so get his dog in the room.
There's also less strategy with Fab when everyone's available. You could blow all your money and still make some good pickups.
So you're saying you like the free for all right from the beginning, or you like?
Oh, it's interesting. This is the only league that I play in that does it. But it's super competitive, obviously, in these leagues, and it's very hard to nab a guy.
We used to experience things different ways, and one of the things we did, and we still do, is we always offered 2 different ways to have your league, and it's sort of like the best ball. So we offered where you could be in a starting lineup league where you had to choose your starting lineup like this is. However, we also had it where
All
your
right,
league
so
could
if he
be
falls to
automatically take
me,
your best. So the league was totally either
if
automatically take your best.
he falls to
or,
me,
uh,
I'm thinking I'm
starting
going
lineup.
Russell
And what we
Wilson
found
with the next pick
was the automatically take your best
because we're
league
going to pair him with DK.
was really different. So in other words, same thing you draft.
But I don't know.
except
He's the next
now
quarterback
your whole
available, so I have to
roster is
hope that these next 6
every
teams
week.
don't draft
And
quarterback.
your top 3 wide receivers will count as your 3
2 of them
best
already have a
receivers that
quarterback,
week.
so he's got Murray, he's got
And
Mahomes, so you have to
your
worry
flex
about the
player will
4
be your
guys
best flex
before me
player on
that
your
they don't
bench
draft the
type of thing will
quarterback,
automatically
and then we'll be able
count.
to get him.
But that way, all of a sudden, your bench becomes valuable. Having a second quarterback becomes
I
valuable.
have to hide my
Having
mouth when I
always,
talk about
do
things
I
like
wanna
this because I
have
don't
2
want somebody
kickers
reading my
instead?
lips because they're
Or
watching
force
my
the running back
a
to be
different
not the
camera
leader
angle of me
game.
talking.
And it really is a strategy of who becomes available then in your drop ads too. So and most people that think fantasy football don't think an automatically best league would be good, but it's amazing because trades become fair too, because people who have a starting lineup will just go for that stud and try to convince people, oh, take these 2 half decent guys instead. But now all of your players, you're watching them every week. So
Okay, what I miss?
okay, we were trying to chirp you, but you weren't paying attention. So
Am I up?
no, we picked for you.
I'm getting yelled at by my offline partner for this to do this.
Who's your offline partner?
Mike Patch. He
Yeah,
actually
Mike.
oversees
Yeah, Mike.
like the
Yeah.
fantasy data side of the business, the content side of it.
All right, so just gotta hope these last 4 don't. Don't get the quarterback we're trying to get here.
Ooh, intriguing.
This early, like just to draft this early in a season-long league with no trades, I feel like you just kind of have to guess a little bit on who you think's going to get the most targets.
Freaking.
And your point is?
No, I mean, I'm sure we're all doing relatively the same thing, and a lot of people on here, this is their entire life. Well, this is a lot of it. So there's a little bit more, you have to zig when others zag. You hear everybody talking about the don't go too many RBs, and I'm sitting there looking at like, oh man, I took 2 with my first pick. What are these guys saying? But and that's why I didn't end up having a good season last year, but I also got eviscerated with injuries, and I know that's a handy dandy excuse a lot of the time.
Freaking Matt. Taking Russell Wilson.
Sorry about that, Robbie Anderson.
Pair him up with DK Metcalf was the perfect idea. 3 away.
Yeah, I was trying to stack Herbert with Allen, but someone sniped me. Herbert has to regress now. Just too many changes. Sophomore slump.
I gotta get ready for my.
Well, do you think playing in front of fans and just like for the rookies that are coming, like with Herbert, I wonder about that. Granted, San Diego's not going to have a lot of fans, but is it like, I really do wonder if there was any fool's gold last year or how it impacted things. It was different.
Look what happened to basketball, right? You look at what happened in the bubble, and guys like Tyler Hero were like couldn't translate to a stadium full of people.
Yeah. Why can't the other guy in Miami, the main guy in Miami that was with the Sixers? Now I can't. Butler. Jimmy Butler was like exactly what the bubble desired, right? It was just a dude that was going to go so freaking hard in that environment, and that's exactly what he does. So, I can't wait. 17 games and have fans.
We're up. We're gonna figure out what to do here.
Do it proper this year.
Really want to bustle with somebody and work out.
In a lot of ways for the NFL, but we'll see how it impacts the players.
Melvin Gordon. Yeah, I'm gonna go with let me make sure there's no injury news. Why is he still on the board? Looking at David Johnson right now.
I'm not going to say anything, but I am intently watching this draft.
This offseason, the Texans.
So, I'm comparing it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with David Johnson. And then go with Beaver here. Am I really about to draft Tom Brady? Oh no, don't tell me I'm about to draft Brady. He ranked, he's 9th overall. Aaron Rodgers is 6th. I feel like we have to with Aaron Rodgers, yeah. I feel like I have to do Aaron Rodgers. Because if he gets traded, he's still going to be the starter of that team, yeah? I'm going to do it, screw it.
There you go.
Who knows if he's going to be starting, but we'll see what happens.
Denver Broncos starting quarterback. No.
He's going to be a starting quarterback. That's all that matters.
He'll be back. We've seen this before.
He's too busy hosting Jeopardy, I thought, though.
I was about to say he's going to be
Yeah.
starting in Jeopardy. That's what I was just about to say.
He's on the match right now too.
Yeah,
Playing against Brady.
yeah. A report just came out like 2 seconds ago about him sidestepping questions.
They can opt out, and he didn't exercise that. So I mean, I think they'll make nice at some point.
I'm thinking all this chaos of me being able to get him in the 7th is, or on the 6-7 turn is pretty good deal.
I'm a little bitter. I was looking at maybe an Adams late Roger stack, but
Where are you at?
I'm middle, late this
Oh,
round.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And the David Johnson, who knows? Is Deshaun Watson? Is he trying to figure out what's going on with Deshaun Watson? If he's still.
My guess is he doesn't play for the Texans, but
Well, do you think he's going to be like suspended by the league?
I don't know what is going to happen with him, honestly.
Yeah, well, Sports Illustrated a week ago said he could, based on the reports, he could be suspended well into 2023, and the trade is unlikely.
It's just amazing the way that Trevor Bauer just got suspended or pulled from the team for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And like the Deshaun Watson thing, sitting out there with like 30 allegations against him, they haven't done anything.
Yep.
Well, there's no need to
NFL does
act
what
if
they
he's
want.
not actually playing, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
Ezekiel Elliott's suspension came down, I think, just like a couple weeks before the season started that year. Trying to think of some other ones.
But I thought that isn't everyone dropping it? Aren't they settling?
I don't know that that'll impact. I bet the league still does something the way. Yeah.
All right, looks like I'm going on SiriusXM.
Has a team ever had 7 guys tear their ACL in one season? I feel like Mr. Burns in the baseball episode of The Simpsons.
Giannis is actually playing.
I hope the Suns smoke him. Hope CP3 shimmies all over him and makes him look silly.
Chris, I can't believe you had that game 7.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, I got
Barkley sucks though.
The crowd was really into it though.
No freaking way, man.
You're gonna get that for a game 7.
Dude, no
I had
way.
season tickets last year, and when Kyrie and Durant weren't playing, it was just like it was horrible.
Yeah, that was the first game I've
No
been
way.
to at Barclays.
So
I went to a
I got a text from SiriusXM to get on the radio
New York Liberty
in the middle of the
game
turn.
and a New York
And so I'm focusing on like who I'm gonna get or whatever. I'm staring at the draft, and I look at my phone. I was like, "Oh, they sent me a text," and they're like, "Oh, we don't have time anymore."
Yeah, it was not a great place to watch a hockey game.
Well, the Islanders last year, because they were splitting their time between both arenas, and I don't think they won a game at Barclays, and they won every game when they were playing at the other place.
Apparently, I was texted by Sirius in the middle of my staring at my screen, trying to figure out my back-to-back picks, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, they texted me." They're like, "Sorry, we're moving on." I was like, "All right."
Well, I missed one. And was really cool.
Intently staring at my screen. I'm like, "Oh, hey, there was a text 5 minutes ago. Who's that from?" Oh, crap. All right. spend 5 minutes on radio talking about how much I hate Digger, and how he's the worst person in the world, but I just blew it, so now I can't do it anymore.
Hey, Howard did that last night, right, Howard?
What I do?
Travis
What,
said,
you-
he missed-
oh,
did you hear Travis what he said? He said he missed
that I bashed you. I don't think I told you. I totally ignored your team. Like I just said, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm pretty sure that that Bob Harris asked me what I thought of Digger's team, and I just went and I turned and I asked the other guy a question. Like I didn't even bother to like acknowledge his question about your team, Digger. So, I don't know where you're getting this that I badmouthed you.
No, that's true. I didn't say you bad. This is true. I'm appreciative you didn't badmouth me, Howard.
Oh, Digger.
No, Travis said he missed his opportunity to go on the air. He got a text from Sirius to say go on, and he didn't notice it, and so he responded to them. They said no, we've moved on. Never mind. And he said it's so he missed his opportunity. So he missed his opportunity to go on Sirius and bash me for a while. Said, oh, great.
Who's the host on Sirius right now?
It's Lindsay.
No, it's Mike Dempsey, Bob Harrison, Fabiano. Lindsay had to back out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad. It was supposed to be her first one, right? So that's too bad.
Didn't we have Fabs? Wasn't he hosting this last year? The Zoom?
Yes.
I think we did. We had real hosts last year.
We did. The reason why we changed it this year is because, well, first of all, Howard can attest to how much work went in behind the scenes to make this work last year. But they felt it was a better experience for the SiriusXM this way. And so it was just, but it was, Howard, I will commend you. The work you did was amazing last year to make this work on the, but it was a ton of work for everybody.
It was very impressive the way you guys produced it last year.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Long time to wait for the coming back to my side again.
Thank you very much.
Definitely need to go heavy on receivers in this back to back year.
All your teams stink though. Still, I don't want you to think that I'm like getting soft now. That you're like, throwing me a compliment. Should take kicker next round. It's got fishbowl rules in this, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts though, man. Missed the opportunity to go on air because I was busy staring at the draft board of my team, and they texted me like, hey, we moved on. I'm so ticked.
So did we wind up taking like a candid screenshot of everyone in action, or was there going to be a FSGA everyone smile for the camera
Well,
type?
let's do this. Logan, turn on your picture. Howard, turn on your picture. And Ryan, turn on your picture. And we can grab a screenshot.
Oh, there we go.
So Ryan, good. Logan's on. Howard's on. No, Howard, get on. Are you
Oh,
there?
wait, hold on. This is a promotional opportunity, right?
Hold up all of the banners, all of the
Trophy
signs.
smacks already. Ryan and Denny's on the.
I can't hold it for much longer.
Okay, who's gonna take a picture here? Hey, everybody, look at their cameras and smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. And he's on the action shot there. So, yeah, I didn't know if it turns out or not. So, who knows?
Oh.
Time to dig into my pick.
They're ranked higher than Parker. Fuller's ranked higher, and Waddle's ranked higher in some things.
Who was it
Akash.
that made the comment about being in the fishbowl mindset? Was that Chris?
I don't think Parker's gonna get.
That was me.
Parker's the one that attracts attention.
I don't even think I've taken a running back.
Waddle's gonna be the slot, and Fuller's gonna be the deep threat. And so I feel like Fuller and Waddle are gonna get more fantasy points than Parker is. In the rankings, that's what the rankings are saying as well.
For the Scott Fishbowl.
That's a different universe.
Where do we even start?
Super flex,
Super flex. Yeah.
but also 4 flex spots.
Tight end premium.
Tight end premium.
Tight
You
end
can start up to
premium,
4
first
kickers.
down points.
-4 for interceptions. You lose points for incompletions. You gain points for completions. There's a lot going on.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, Daniel Jones did not work out for me last season. I think he went negative like 24 1 week.
Yeah, I ended up with Herbert and Deshaun Watson, so my season went surprisingly well.
Nice. I had McCaffrey and Eckler, and my season was a abomination.
Guys, I'm going to try one more picture. Is that okay? So Logan, put on your thing. Ryan.
This
put on
guy
your
again.
picture. And there's a reason for it. You'll see the reason why I did it afterwards. So, okay.
We doing a countdown here, or is this candid when we're not paying attention?
Okay, so everybody's ready for the picture. Denny, move back in your screen. Denny's is Denny frozen?
No, he's just
he's on the phone and now he's okay, there he's good.
There we go.
Okay, everybody ready? Oh wait, Denny's back on. Denny, smile, we're doing a candid picture here. No, not on your phone, Denny. We're on this. So
See his mouth.
Denny, you back with us?
Mouth shot.
Stop. Okay. Denny, yo, Denny.
Looks like he's about to throw up.
Okay, Denny.
Oh, there we go. He's getting the headphones in.
Okay, we're talking to you, Denny. We're doing
Hey.
a picture for everybody, so be ready to smile here. Move back a little bit in your camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smiles. Do another one. See, okay, I think that turned out well. Let me just see here. And you'll see when I send you guys the email why I got you to do that. So
How do we get
The
Digger out of
email's
picture?
gonna be the picture with haha, you guys suck.
no, I would not do that. Crap. Okay, reply all. I think they turned out okay. Good. Well, I'll send it anyway. I'll send it shortly. I just want to make sure you guys keep drafting. Just want to make sure.
Okay, I'll jump over to the draft board.
Oh man, sorry, the guys decided to go in a different direction. So that's not unfortunately our broadcast. We're gonna start live.
That
SiriusXM on Tuesday night.
trophy smack, is that Matt talking?
Yeah, I feel like he might have been passed up too, based on what he said. You can't focus on everything at once.
I think I've got everybody copied on this email. You'll see the picture.
This weird shifting mindsets, like within an hour we're around 9 and here we're selling oh shit, wait, dude, Brown's still available, but we're all around. Too many things in the commentary, we were just talking about differences. Someone asked, how is the Scottish school? We were talking about, someone else made a comment that they're stuck in this whole mindset. How's that feel?
Okay. I just sent it to everybody. Hopefully you got it.
Can we leave? Anyway,
Whoa, Digger, that's definitely the wrong picture. I'm gonna have to delete that.
Nice.
This guy.
Everybody like the picture, I hope.
I mean, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, there's only so much to work with. I mean,
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
No.
Was that didn't get it?
Ryan. Oh, it just came over. Thanks.
Looking good, gentlemen.
Just posting it in the FSGA Slack chat. Slack. There you go. So what I wanted to make sure of was your draft. The draft board was in the background. That's why I changed it. So.
Who all here is doing the 2 p.m. tomorrow futures draft? Anybody else?
I am participating.
Howard's participating.
Okay. I like we added CFB this year.
Yeah, so we talked about that. We thought we'd add that in to see what. So Logan's participating. They need to install. Laz and Graven, Yahoo's having a team. Mellow Woods having a team, but Brandon, you're not doing it. Blakely's doing it, I think. Jason, you're doing it. Howard and Adam Ronas are doing it for Fantasy Alarm. Johnny Hillebrand's prize picks are doing it, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be Derek and Ron. Last year's winner, Fantasy Pros, will be there. Second place, DFS Karma will be there. And third place, Greater Sharp will be back. And then from CBS Sports, it's not Chris, it's going to be RJ White who's doing it. So, and there's some other teams as well. But. So there's where my draft got screwed up last night. Brandon, you picked Jalen Hurts. I had him scheduled to pick in my pick in the 7th round. And I said, off one more round. And he went. And I was like, are you gotta be kidding me? I was so mad at myself.
Feels like identity theft for me, Digger. I have to tell you, I was really hoping you made it back around.
I was so pissed because I said to myself at the beginning, I said, I'm going to draft him in the 7th no matter what. And then I held off to the 8th and it just, I was pissed. The worst thing was he was there. I had him, everything else. And what I miss?
Everything.
You missed me saying how I screwed up my draft last night, so you missed nothing.
Digger just speaking in facts.
Yeah. Well, I was saying when Brandon just took Jalen Hurts in that pick, and I said I had promised myself last night going to the draft, I was going to pick Hurts in the 7th round, and I said, when the 7th round came around, I said, oh, he might be there in the 8th. I'll just let it go. And I let it slide to the 8th round, and he was gone. He came back to me.
Yeah, we got
Who'd you end up with?
Aaron Rodgers has always been like a top.
That's the problem.
Third
I took
third round at worst 4th round pick in leagues, but because of all this stuff about his like him wanting to get traded and stuff, I was able to get him in the 7th round, which is crazy.
Well, at least you know that Jacksonville's gonna throw.
Yeah, so, but I was banking on Hurts, and it hurt to say the least.
I'm gonna pull the trigger on Hurts at 8-3.
So I picked. I ended up my first 6 picks. Not that anybody cares. I got Derrick Henry and J.K. Dobbins as running backs. A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Devonta Smith in the first 6 rounds. And what he get was Curtis Samuel because he was on the board. 7th.
Is there any way whoever's on not on mute can mute?
Every play just goes so fast.
Matt Walsh from Toast Mac also. Chris Towers, can you mute? You're in charge of the board. Can you mute Matt Walsh? He's not. He's not the Matt that's not in the picture. The Matt with 2 T's.
On a side note, Sandy Alcantara bucket hat.
I was able to
bobblehead doll.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
There you go. That's great. Where'd you get that?
Craig Mish sent it to me.
Oh man, these
Just like
things take
bobbleheads?
forever, dude.
I mean, I have a bunch. I just
2 hours in.
But he's
Hey, Kimmy,
you know,
I don't even have my.
he's
Hey,
hooked in with
Kimmy.
the Marlins.
Yeah, 4-hour draft.
I wouldn't say I have a any kind of an extensive collection. There's certain ones here and there that kind of throw my way.
Parker and Hollywood Brown here if they're both available.
Sorry, my bad.
Who knows? A lot of people already have 3 receivers. Everybody in front of me has 3
Send you some.
receivers, so should be able to get those 2. I think, unless they smell Strasburg.
There's my Leafs jersey. If you can read the sign, it says, "Gone golfing early again." Mike Graven, you'd like that. Yes, exactly. You'd know that with your Sharks over the many years, but they usually get a little further in the playoffs, but not this year.
But do you,
Not the. Oh,
do
go
you
ahead.
support your fellow countrymen and still root for the Canadians in the Cup, or are you like, oh, please, dear Lord, let the Lightning take care of business?
Well, I'm not really hoping for the Lightning, and under normal circumstances, I definitely wouldn't be hoping for the Montreal Canadiens because it's like if you're a Red Sox fan, you hate the Yankees, and the one thing about the Leafs is we haven't won since '67. Or
But gosh, if you're still
usually say
tuning in, I think we're
forever.
going to try to get Devonte Parker if he's still
The
available here.
Canadiens have
At the
got
end, we'll
most
see what
cups in
happens.
history, and it just drives you crazy because they just always and then doing it to us again this year is like, oh, you can't be kidding me. So
I'm a Golden Knights fan myself, and I was hoping that they would beat the Canadiens because Tampa's by far the closest rink to where I live here in Orlando. I was like, I'd actually go to a finals game against Lightning and the Knights, and well, granted they lost, but on top of that, I'm looking at finals tickets in Tampa, and it's like what $2,500 like per like minimum nosebleeds. Like, I don't know if I love them that much.
When the conference was out there in Tampa a couple of years ago, the Sharks were in town that weekend. So my wife came out with me for the weekend before the conference, and we got to see the Sharks there. It's a really nice arena. Really liked it a lot.
Well,
That was the year I think that Tampa was the best team in the league, but lost. They got swept in the first round at Columbus. But yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
yes, arena. It's a nice arena.
Yeah.
And,
Had a great time
yeah.
there.
Well, the Golden Knights obviously should have been there, and it would have been a really good playoff series with the Golden Knights in there. But Carey Price
The
has done the
The
job.
fans treated us much better in Tampa than they do in Vegas. I'll say that much.
Well, that's understandable, right? Especially after some of those games. And that Sharks Vegas Golden Knights series was that interesting penalty call late in the game, right?
Talk about what last year?
No, it was 2 years.
2 years ago. Yeah. When the Sharks cheated, I remember that.
When they cheated like every round, essentially, they had a great call against Colorado. They had the call with Vegas. Yeah.
Now the whole Vegas Golden Knights story, I think it's so for me personally. So yes, we have the Florida Panthers. Yes, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, but hockey just overall is not massively important in the state of Florida because we don't grow up playing it because we don't have a lot of ice rinks around us because it's 110 degrees and so it just doesn't exist that often. So I have all of these sports teams I like. Most of them are based in the state of Florida, of course. And I never had a hockey team. And so I learned that there was an approved expansion team. And I said, I don't care where they are, what's going on. this is going to be my team, so I can be a day one fan along with all the other day one fans. And so I chose it. They said, okay, it's Vegas. I go, perfect. I'm a Vegas fan. And then on top of me already committing to the Vegas team, they call themselves the Golden Knights, and I am a UCF alumni. And even though we're just the Knights now, when I attended college, they were the Golden Knights. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a match made in heaven, man. And then we go to the finals the first season. I was like, this is the best ever, best decision ever. But no, it's such an awesome thing to. It's so crazy to me how the expansion works on how they can draft a power team like that based on all these expendable players.
Well, they didn't know they would be that good, and certainly organizations didn't realize what would happen. But and Seattle's going to be in the same position this year coming up with their expansion draft because nobody's competing against them in the expansion draft. But what's really going to help Seattle's case is the fact that with the pandemic, so many teams are up against the cap, including the Golden Knights, that they'll want to move contracts in turn to give up draft picks or other quality players. And, obviously that's how they got Fleury to begin with, the Golden Knights, because Penguins were up against the cap. They wanted to move Fleury's contract, and they gave them draft choices to take him in the expansion draft. Marchessault ended up going there from Florida. William Karlsson ended up being a 40-goal scorer for them from Columbus. That they got all these players that, because the teams were either up against cap or they wanted to force them to take dead weight off their team.
Yeah.
And so they did that, and Seattle's going to be in a much better position to do that this year because in the pandemic, none of the salary cap has gone up, and teams were planning on the salary cap going up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. So we had a baseball bobblehead. We had hockey talk in the middle of a football draft, just what everybody wants, I'm sure.
I think on paper, the team we put together from more or less quote unquote scraps was, I don't know, I feel like it was maybe like, I don't know what the percentages in my head I'm trying to come up with, but we had a much better team season one than we had this season when were one or so games away from the finals. I don't even know.
Well, you actually had a better team on paper. There's no doubt about it this year.
Yeah.
But you ran up against a hot goaltender and a big set of defense that were able to, help keep the puck out of the net, and that's really what it came down to.
I don't pay too much attention to hockey. Like I said, it's not like I said. This is I'm a new hockey fan with the Golden Knights a couple of years ago, but I think just looking at it, I can probably guess that I feel like if the Canadiens win, they would have like the worst. I feel like they have the worst regular season record of a team I've ever seen in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like that, they barely made it in, and then if they come back and win unfathomably, then I feel like just regular season record. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's probably one of the worst records to win the championship.
Yeah,
win the cup.
It's obviously anytime you get like a team that was ranked that low. I mean, it was fourth in it's division and the last team to make the playoffs out of all 16 teams that made the playoffs. But in reality, it's funny, and Mike Graven, you'd probably agree to this. It was actually ESPN, even after they just
all right.
lost
the Devonte Parker we're getting
2 years afterwards.
and Hollywood Brown.
Was at a conference that I was at. They had ESPN.
Let me double check it real quick.
And a few other top
My
executives
list
on the panel, and they were talking about broadcast sports in North America. And they finally asked, ESPN guy stuff, and he said, "Listen, bar none," he says, "the most exciting sport in North America," he said, "is NHL playoff hockey." He said, we wish we hadn't lost the contract, but he said it's the most exciting sport to watch at playoff time. Now, whether that's the case or not is a different story, but that was coming from other executives, not me. And it is fun watching playoff hockey.
They spent a lot of money to get Gretzky on that studio show.
Yeah, I don't know how it'll turn out. And I think, what was it, Messi?
All right, yeah, we just went back. We just went Hollywood and Devonte
I didn't see.
Parker.
I think ESPN might have signed Messi.
Bro, I love this team so far, man. This team on paper is so nice. Mike, what's going on? Joseph, Ty, what's going on? What's up, Sean?
As far as a broadcaster,
this is if you guys didn't tune in to the beginning of this,
now nothing
You
compares.
guys, you
though,
should
to
know by
the,
now. If you don't, I
you know,
run very,
Barkley
very
and Shaq and them
successful
guys,
fantasy sports content media
like
company and a very
basketball, those guys
successful
are great.
sports betting content media company.
Yeah, you can't force that.
And
kind of
because we're
rivalry.
part of this major
It's
national
just,
organization called the
they're so
FSGA,
good.
Fantasy Sports Gaming Association, we get invited to these like expert leagues that SiriusXM radio host, and this is what we're doing right now. So this is an actual league that we're going to be playing out throughout the season. We draft really, really early, in the middle of the months. All right, I got my one Dolphin player. I can log out. I'm good. I'm good to go now.
You got your Dolphin?
Got my one Dolphin.
Who'd you take?
I got Parker in the 8th.
Ah, yeah, well, there you go. Nice addition there. Interesting. The whole 8th round was almost running backs.
Yeah. That's why I was like hoping. I'm like, please. I was looking. I'm like, everybody before me's got at least 3 receivers. So I'm hoping they're all gonna go running back, and then all 5 of them did. So I had the ability to get those 2 guys there.
Did I mention I'm pissed about Jalen Hurts? Just saying. Just have to get that off my chest so I can maybe sleep tonight.
Wait, are you an Eagles fan?
No, but I had my
I missed
draft
it.
strategy so that I wouldn't have to pick a quarterback until the 7th round. But I had the guy, and I had him written on my piece of paper who I'm going to pick in the 7th, and then I
Hollywood right there in that spot that I got him in. Joseph is a legit spot. That's a perfect spot for him.
changed my pick at the 7th at the last second. I think I was chirping people and they were chirping me back, and I lost concentration.
Do you follow the CFL up there?
I used to follow it a lot more than I do now. I don't follow it a lot right now. To be honest with you, they're talking about stuff with the XFL. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
A little bit. Not too much about it, but yeah, vaguely.
There could be a deal with that they do either combine the leagues or do something marketing wise next year.
I mean, isn't that the NFL was just combining the NFC and the AFC, so it'd be like a similar concept. I wouldn't hate that. The first time I ever paid attention to the CFL was when Ricky Williams got signed by the Argonauts.
Yep.
And then I had a guy that I went to school with at UCF, Jason Burnett, who was the main return man for one of the teams. I think, is it British Columbia Lions? BC Lions?
BC Lions, yep.
Yeah, I think he played for that team and some other team, and so I followed him a lot up there, but I don't know. I feel like they need to do more with pushing to the US market than they do, because I mean, we of course we love sports. I mean, we're all over Europe. The Euro League going on right now, that's nothing to do with our continent at all. And I feel like CFL could probably do a little bit more to reach out to the US audience.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game. I mean, 3 downs instead of 4, wider field, longer field.
Yeah.
10 yards longer. And the end zones.
Joseph, there's no trades in this league, so
They have one more man on the field.
no trade
They have
bait.
more than one player in motion. So
This is a tradeless league. This is just an expert
the one
league, and we
thing
just
is it's
do
pretty amazing.
waiver
Like, if you
wires
go
and
to a
free
Grey
agency
Cup
bidding.
versus a Super Bowl, it's a completely different vibe. And if you ever get the chance to go to a Super Bowl, if you have or haven't been,
Well, how so though? How would you describe the difference between a Grey Cup
so
and Super
here's how
Bowl?
I'll describe it. And the closest one to a Grey Cup was 2009 Super Bowl, but I'll come back to that in a second. So when a Super Bowl is from the top down, it's all corporate money, it's all high end, it's everything sold out from you have to pay for 4 nights accommodation for a Motel 8. It could be, $300 a night type of thing. And all the restaurants, everything, the parties, everything's extravagant, but it's from the top end down. So it's all the business people that are there, and it's not necessarily all the fans who are there. When you go to a Grey Cup, it's the exact opposite. Even if teams are not in the Grey Cup, they'll have their contingents of fans that are at the Grey Cup, and some of them will have, like the Edmonton Eskimos and now the Edmonton Elks, will have a pancake breakfast on the Saturday morning, and they'll invite all the other teams' fans into it and things like that. When Calgary held the Grey Cup, you know, they have ambassadors at the airport, the Stampeders, and so they have, like Houston does, they have a big huge stampede every year. So you get branded when you come in at the airport. It's all from the fans up. It's not corporate down. Even though there's corporate dollars there, every party is everybody's included.
So even if for example the Eskimos or the Edmonton team, even if they are the worst team in the CFL, don't make the playoffs. Let's say they win 0 games, they still do this pancake thing for the Super Bowl of the CFL.
And they'll have like, it's their fans that put it on, like fans that have been to 25 Grey Cups in a row, and so it's from the fan base down. And if the 2009 Super Bowl
let me see,
was like
Joseph.
that with Arizona versus
Professional
Pittsburgh,
Quidditch.
and it was in Tampa.
That already exists, I think.
And the reason it was because that's when the stock market crashed, everything crashed, and everybody, all the corporations got rid of their tickets.
Joseph, it's gonna be a while before we get there, but I think
really
what I'm gonna do
interesting
running back
because
receiver.
Going to it, you saw at all the parties, it was actually about 60% of the fans were Steeler fans and about 40% were Cardinals fans. If you talk to anybody
Hey,
who
Joseph,
was under
appreciate
the
the
age
like.
of 35 and they were a Cardinals fan, they were all from, oh, where do you live? They say, oh, I live in Washington or Chicago or wherever. They go, oh, well, what do you do? Well, I grew up in Phoenix, but I moved away after going to college. But if you talk to anybody who was older than 35 and was a Cardinals fan, they were probably season ticket holders of the Cardinals or something like that. But they'd flown in and they say, oh, you're a Cardinals fan. They go, yeah, well, I have season tickets, but I'm actually a Bears fan because I'm from Chicago, but I moved to Phoenix. So the older crowd was all, you know, expats who had moved there, and the Cardinals were their second team, and younger fans were the Cardinals were their first team because they grew up, but they moved away. So, but it was all fans, and everywhere you went, it was all fans of the two teams.
What about the contracts and the salary cap? How is that? I realized I was muted. How is the what about the contracts? Like you say, you know, you get a crazy like $500 million contract in the NFL over like a 10-year contract or whatever it may be. What's like the biggest CFL contract in comparison that just comes to your head? What was your mind?
Well, there is a huge salary cap on the league because of it. They have the import rule too. So most of the offensive linemen are actually Canadian because they have to have so many Canadians on their roster. And so you might have known that there are a few, you know, offensive linemen in the NFL. One was with Kansas City. Jason, you would know that. He was on the Super Bowl winning team, but he actually didn't play last year because he's also a trained doctor. So he went back to Quebec to be through the pandemic. He said, I'll pass up football for the year because I'm needed more in to be working with the pandemic than not. But he was a starting lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs in their Super Bowl win. So the big contracts would have been, I think Flutie had $1 million contract. Damien Allen played in the league for years. So or Damien Allen did, Marcus Allen's brother. Warren Moon, you guys have heard of him. He played in the CFL for many years. And actually won, I think, 4 or 5 Grey Cups before he went to Houston. So
I was just Googling the biggest CFL contract, and I just realized a week ago that Paxton Lynch just joined the Rough Riders.
Oh, there you go. And that was another thing. There was only 9 teams in the league for years, right? There still is, but of which 2 teams were called Rough Riders. One was the Ottawa Rough Riders, and one was the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. And Ottawa's Rough Riders was split in 2. So it was Rough Riders in 2 words. And that's based upon a lumberjack. You know, you'd see them, the logs coming down the river. And that's what they were called, the ones that made sure they were skipping the lumberjacks, making sure that it didn't clog up the river. And those were called Rough Riders. And then the Saskatchewan Rough Riders is 1 word. And they're Rough Riders as in horseback riders at stampedes and rodeos and things like that. So it's weird.
There was a comedian a long time ago that did a bit about that. About both teams being named the Rough Riders. Like, oh, you're in the league. What's your name? Rough Riders. No, we already have a team named that. What do you want it to be? It just kept going. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I
And
just
it's
found the official the highest. So let's see here. The bar is reportedly set by the BC Lions quarterback Mike Riley, who signed a 4-year, $2.9 million deal in 2019. So that's the current highest is 2.9 over 4.
There you go. But they were back in the 70s and 80s. They actually drafted NFL players like guys like Tom Cousineau, Vince Ferragamo, guys like that actually came and played in the CFL instead of going to the NFL, and they were top draft picks in the NFL. So
Top running backs.
And it has
at
big
this very
base in the
second,
West, so
you have Rashad
Winnipeg,
Penny, Tariq Cohen,
Saskatchewan,
Keyshawn Vaughn, Duke Johnson,
Alberta,
James White, Latavius Murray,
Calgary and Edmonton play.
Derek McKinnon,
They
Daryl
have
Henderson,
huge
Joshua
fan
Kelly.
bases. Toronto, it's a lot
It's like the
harder to
top 8 or
get
10
fan
there.
base because they want more NFL and more Buffalo type of thing. So anybody here rugby fan?
I love watching rugby sevens during the Olympics, but that's about it.
Oh my gosh, it's actually rugby sevens is an amazing sport to watch.
So much fun.
Mike Gesicki just got picked.
Crazy.
I was hoping he would drop a little bit lower so I can get him as my
Everybody who's
backup
not
tight end.
familiar with rugby sevens versus rugby union or rugby league. Rugby union's 15 on a side, and you play the full pitch, which is basically the size of a football field.
I wasn't really paying
But you
attention
have a
to
scrum and you have the backs.
I wasn't paying attention to
It's
bye
40
weeks, but it
minute
looks like
halves.
my
You
bye
play
weeks lined up
40 minute half,
perfectly.
Then you play a second 40-minute half in rugby 15s. But rugby sevens is only 14-minute halves, and you only have 7 on the field at one time, but you play on the same pitch size. And it is probably, if you've ever played, have you played it, Chris?
No, I might have actually played it like once or twice in college. We had a club, but I very quickly realized it was not.
Still for tight end, what Gesicki in the
It's one of the most
at
physically
the end of the
demanding
ninth.
games you'll ever play.
Yeah.
Because you have to have.
I don't know. They have
to be
so
at
many
every breakdown.
weapons
You
now. They
can't
got
miss your
Will
tackle.
Fuller. They added Waddle.
But you have to be able
Gesicki,
to
I mean,
run the
he's
whole
awesome
field
tight
for the
end,
width of the
but
field.
he's got 2 more
And
huge
even though
names
it's only,
that are there. So
7-minute halves.
I don't know if he'll be. I don't know if
14-minute
that'll
game,
increase or decrease.
you are
It might
totally
decrease his
physically
overall
drained
value.
after the first half.
Got 2 more
because
massive
7
names there.
minutes of playing because you're involved in so many physical hits and running, and it's a pretty amazing game to watch. So if you get a chance, as you say, in the Olympics.
Oh, there goes
the last
Ruggs.
Olympics is probably where you really enjoyed watching it, right, Chris?
Oh yeah.
It was quite the sport to watch. So, and they play as many as 8 matches over 2 days. So,
Wow, Brady finally got off the board.
That and team handball are the 2 Olympic sports that I always.
I have Rodgers in the
love to watch,
7th. I might need to draft another quarterback just in case something does happen with him in his contract. I might have to get another quarterback
It's like a
sooner than
wild
later.
combination of like soccer, basketball, and
lacrosse.
hockey.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say throw lacrosse in there too.
Yeah.
But it is. It's
Hey, Digger, real quick, man. Appreciate you hosting this and organizing it, inviting me in. I've got to head home. Just got a couple calls and texts that I've got a mutiny in the house. My 3 boys have all teamed up on the missus. I'm dropping from the office, so
Beat you with a like
is anybody
2.5 hours
is
later.
Anybody is your partner?
Gotta sneeze
Jay,
again.
Online making picks or
yeah,
not?
we've got pics queued. I'll be doing mobile, and he'll be wrapping it up.
Okay, so
Man.
I mean, if you've got picks queued, then make sure you get your $50 in.
You see that,
because we
BJ?
know
I got
that you
Devonte Parker in,
no,
in
I'm
8th.
teasing you.
I think I was the second one.
That's my lone. That's my lone
I'm
Dolphins
teasing you.
pick.
Yeah, no, we'll be fine finishing this.
And
but-
and Matt, on behalf of everybody, thank you for donating the rings and the trophies
Yeah,
for this.
definitely.
It is appreciated, and anybody who's won, as Matt Spasta will say, he's got his ring. He knows what it's
The
like.
4 teams
It
who
is fun to
haven't
win.
drafted a
Howard
QB
knows
don't
that
draft
sort
one. I
of stuff,
definitely think about
and
that.
it is fun to have them. So thank you for
I
doing
love
it.
it. Yeah, and this
You got
season,
team
these are gonna
3,
be
team 5,
FSGA Expert League
and
custom
team
rings.
13
So
don't have one.
these will be custom for what we're doing. So super excited to get
Oh,
these
Joe Burrow
produced.
just got. I was
Super
thinking about getting
excited
Joe
to
Burrow
keep one of them
possibly.
here in our office after this season.
But I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to play all the games, so all we need to do is find a quarterback to fill in for Week
It won't
13.
be fantasy, but it's a real thing. I want to make this happen. I want to make a championship belt.
BJL, if we don't go to the playoffs, one of my Dolphins hats are getting set on fire on a live stream if we don't make playoffs.
Start training now.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
The reason I say about Major League Rugby is because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Major League Rugby is happening.
BJL, are you coming up? Were you going to the game at all? I got a few people going to the Tampa Bay game. Some Bucks fans and some Dolphins fans. If you want to come up for that game.
If you get a chance to go,
the Brady game there.
As far as the in-game,
I forgot what week it is, but that's the only one I plan on go to is the Bucks game. So far, anyway. I don't have any plans. Anybody else for any other game?
So, Chris, to that point, do you ever watch curling then in the Winter Olympics?
Oh, curling is great fun.
Curling is my favorite Winter Olympic sport.
It's amazing.
I have literally spent time researching how I can qualify for the U.S. Olympic team myself, and I would have to train in Coral Gables, which is like a 3.5-hour drive, and I would have to qualify there to like move up the chain. So I feel like I'd be a legit at that sport. But yeah, I love watching it.
So, do you realize how physically demanding?
Oh yeah.
Curling is?
Yeah, I can tell.
And it's funny because the sweepers, you will be like, I guarantee you, if you're a sweeper, you will have to be like, especially if you're a lead, second or a third, you will have to be a sweeper. And it's amazing how much physical endurance that takes to sweep.
Week 4. Well, BJ, aren't you coming to all the home games though? Which home games are you not be able to make it to?
The real thing is the first time you try sliding on a slider as you're trying to sweep, because you have one foot is got a slider on, so you can slide it when you're pushing off on like a sneaker type of thing. And it's amazing how many times you'll end up on your
What's up,
ass
Siebes?
within 2 seconds.
Got some good old fantasy football action happening here. Yeah, I feel like I would probably be that'd probably be my role. I would be delegated sweeper or relegated to being the sweeper. I mean, I know everybody rotates and everything, but I feel like I have.
Yeah, usually the skip, who's the person who's in charge of the team, is the fourth. They go fourth. They have their last 2 shots, but they usually don't sweep hardly at all. It's usually the first, second, and the third that are the ones that do most of the sweeping, especially the first and the second.
It's such a simple concept, the whole entire sport, but it's so fun to watch. Like every time any stone is released, everyone like holds their breath and waits to see where it winds up. I don't know. I think and for Winter Olympics, I mean, of course, snowboarding is cool because I love seeing flips and tricks and stuff like that. But I grew up on the X Games, so it's nothing new to me. But in terms of actual Winter Olympics, aside from the fancy new stuff like snowboarding, number 1 is curling, and number 2 is the I believe it's just called a biathlon, where they shoot targets and ski.
The Norwegians win it every year.
That's the craziest combination of 2 things like ever.
Well, it was based upon hunting.
Yeah.
Right? And the whole idea was that, you have to be able to go as hard as you can, and you're cross-country skiing for like a 5-kilometer, run, and then right afterwards,
What's up, CBs?
You have to bring your
You're gonna be at all the
heart rate
games
down as quickly as you can.
I play it as
to
well.
Be able to shoot 5 targets, and then you go another 5K hike, and then come back and again slow down your heart rate to do 5 targets, to shoot 5 targets. You're right. It's 2 totally opposite ends because of the heart rate. And
But it's fascinating to watch though. Someone just pumping like crazy, and then okay, your heart rate's 600 beats per second. You then pull up a gun and you have to aim for these targets, and I don't know. That's something I love as well.
And that's what they do. That's why they measure it now.
Yeah.
They'll measure the people's heart rates when they're shooting, because they can see how much they've had to slow it down and how much they've had to adjust it between.
And speed skating, of course, is also fun. That'd be my number 3.
I love
Speed
watching
skating.
the short track speed skating. I love watching the what I liked the additions that they made in the last several years were the snowboard and the skiing races, where there's 4 at the top and they're racing together on the same course coming down. It's unbelievable to watch that, because the wipeouts, but it's also the skill set, and you're actually racing against somebody to qualify to the next round, and so on and so forth. It's pretty amazing watching the snowboard and the downhill skiing when they're racing against each other on the same track.
I think if Shaun White is retired for the U.S. or not. I forgot how old he is now. I think he's my age. What, mid-30s? Hope to see him there again. Shaun White has killed snowboarding since they incorporated it.
Yeah, well, he's a multi-sport guy because he can do the other one, the skateboarding as well.
Yeah, got that aerial ability.
There are some athletes who've crossed over between Summer and Winter Olympics. In Canada, we have a gold medalist female who was a speed skater, won a gold medal in speed skating, and then won a gold medal in biking. And obviously that's because of the crossover in the quads. So
I read something yesterday that I forgot what his last name is. First name is Eddie. In the history of the Olympics,
Eddie the Eagle.
Is that his last?
No, are you talking about Eddie the Eagle, the downhill?
No. I was like, I don't think it's his nickname. No, in the history of Olympics, across all countries, in the history of the existence of the Olympics, there has only been, I believe, 5 athletes that have won a medal in any winter and any summer Olympics. Only 5 athletes across all countries in the history of it. And we have a guy, Eddie, I can't remember his last name. He won silver in Sochi, I can't remember how to pronounce that city. Sochi. He won silver in speed skating, and he just qualified for the the men's baseball team for this Olympics. So if he gets at least bronze, he'll be the 6th athlete in the history of all time of all countries to win a medal in both of the summer and Olympics, or summer and winter.
There can't only be 6. Really?
There's 5. Yeah, he'll be the 6th one. Nope. There's been plenty of people that have participated in both, but medaled in both. There's only been 5.
As I said, I think Clara Hughes won both in men's and women's speed skating. So let me just check that.
I think Lolo Jones was on our women's bobsled team. I don't know if she placed in sprint hurdles, but I'm assuming she did.
Okay, so Clara Hughes, a dual Olympian, is the only athlete in history to win multiple medals at both the Summer and Winter Olympic Games. Her 6 career medals tie her as Canada's most decorated Olympian. I did not know that. Hey, you're right. It is only 5, Travis. I would not have guessed that.
You think I would lie to you?
No.
Have I
was
ever
just saying-
lied to you in
I'm
your
not saying it that
entire
way.
life?
I don't mean it to come across out. I just wouldn't have guessed that. If you'd asked me to bet on that, I would have said more. I wouldn't have said that.
I should have asked you to bet on it.
So and I didn't know this. So again, because this is why I was saying it earlier, but I didn't know who's the only person to win gold medals at both the Summer Olympics, and that's Clara Hughes. But it's interesting why I say Clara Hughes.
All right, so it's been Cole Beasley, my receiver here. I'm trying to think where I want to go with my next
Many
pick.
of you have you heard that in Canada we have Let's Talk Day in Canada for mental awareness? Have any of you guys, did you know that we have that in Canada, January 28th every year? And the reason I say that is Clara Hughes is one of the leaders in that and biggest proponents behind it. And in Canada, we have a day where we dedicate to Let's Talk, and that people do struggle through mental issues. And it's been a big thing for here for at least 5 to 10 years now. So.
It's really great. And she's been supporting that for, when was she in the Olympics? Was this sort of like right after she got in the Olympics, or is this something that she worked on?
So, no, it wasn't right after. She won. So her age is 48 years of age. She won two bronze in the 96 Summer Olympics. Does anybody know where that was held, Johnny? 96 Olympics? Anybody?
Atlanta?
Hey, right, Matt's supposed to 2 points on This Is Jeopardy. Yes. So she won 2 bronze, 96, 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze over the course of 3 Winter Olympics. So
All
the
right, I'm gonna go to Quebec
big
here.
thing for the 96
I'm gonna pull up the
Olympics
best next
for me,
quarterback on
you
my
know what
list.
that
here.
was? The 2 events that were huge in the Winter Summer Olympics that year for me. Anybody?
I really only remember the gymnastics and the 100 meters.
There we go,
in that
Trevor
one.
Lawrence.
Juno.
Okay. And what do you remember about gymnastics, Chris?
Oh, what's her name? Carrie Struggs.
Right.
That's the one.
We're going Trevor Lawrence.
And what do you remember about the 100 meters?
Was it Michael Johnson with
Oh,
his gold cleats?
Sorry, delete him, mute him. Anybody else want to comment
Wasn't
on
it
that?
him?
Anybody else want to comment on the 96 Olympics?
Going Trevor Lawrence.
Seriously.
He'd be best
And
available.
Mike
Yeah.
and Mike, or the
Well,
two, whatever those guys were.
I didn't want to get another running back or another receiver.
You
just
guys
then.
are sick. So
Because if something
it
happens
is
with Aaron
Michael
Rodgers,
Johnson.
in theory,
And it's
I want to
funny
have someone that I'm
because
comfortable
up
starting the
until
entire
what's the
season.
100-meter
I
winner
looked at all my
always known
rankings
as in
lists,
the
and
world?
Trevor Lawrence was the highest one there.
Best man in the world.
We get Trevor Lawrence as a backup
Until
in
the
case Aaron Rodgers
96
takes a dump
Olympics,
and holds out
when
for
it
whatever.
changed and they said after
I'm
the
hoping
96
he starts
Olympics,
week 1.
the fastest man
He
in the
should
world
start week
is
1.
actually the 200-meter, because the 100-meter winner was Donovan Bailey from
There
Canada.
was a slight reach, but because we're still at the
And-
end, it would take another
then-
28
He failed
picks
the
to get
drug
back to me.
test, I remember
I don't know
now.
if he'd be there at 28
that's
picks,
that's
so I just I got
1988.
him.
Then Johnson failed.
Oh, well, I tried. I
So
lose.
in 96, Donovan Bailey won, and then in
So we're gonna
96, a week
need
later, the Canadian
next
4x100
2 rounds should
relay
be
team beat the Americans
receiver,
in 90.
or no,
in,
maybe
the relay race. So that was why it was big for me. However,
yeah,
to your
receiver,
point, Chris, they then named afterwards. It
receiver,
was said,
tight end,
all
maybe
of the
receiver, tight
publicity
end, or
was
receiver,
then
running back
fastest
is the
man in
next
world
go
actually the
around.
200. So the next
It all depends
year,
who's available, but that's what we're
Donovan
looking
Bailey
at.
said, "I will challenge you to
I'll
a
move
race
this up
to
here so you
Michael
guys can see it
Johnson."
better.
And it got huge money, and they held the race in Skydome here in Toronto. And after the first 150 around the turn, Michael Johnson pulled up lame because he was already behind Donovan Bailey in the race. Donovan Bailey says, "I'll race you in 150 yards to prove who's the fastest man." And all of a sudden they show Michael Johnson around the turn behind, and all of a sudden he starts limping down the course and walks off. So nobody remembers that? Seriously.
I thought he ran the 100 and
Damn.
200. That was my recollection. But
Just
I'm
made us
reading about it
drafted
now. He ran the
John
200
Watson. I don't think that man's playing for another couple of
And,
years.
Yeah, it's the only time anyone really cares about the 400, I guess. It's just the 100 that really gets all the attention.
Right. And he had the golden, remember he had the gold, Michael Johnson had the golden shoes.
Yeah.
So
What's up, Mohammed?
any other useless trivia you guys want to talk about?
You want me to quiz you? Let me throw out a question for you. What are you looking for here?
Oh, not necessarily quiz me. I'm not trying to say that I just like talking stories. I love talking sports. I love talking,
I told you one of the last drafts, because I know you have a lot of memorabilia behind you and a lot of the autograph stuff. Do you remember the old timer Dolphins hat that I showed you on a previous draft?
Yep.
Got so excited. My mom bought it at a yard sale for $1. And I'm like, this is autographed by the entire 72 team. And when it got authenticated, they're like, well, actually, based on this, this, and this, it's the 75 team, but still, there's a lot of rollover there.
Roll up for sure.
But man,
Not quite the same thing.
it's close. But the thing was,
It's becoming second in the Hot Fantasy Pool for like 2 years in a row.
so I think it was JSA that authenticated it, and he's like, so a lot of people always think the most common misconception is the most popular name, like, you know, like Bob Greasy, is the most valuable because of the popularity. It's like, no, it's the people that don't sign things. It's the rarity of the signature and not the specialness of the name. And he goes, you have the only, can't remember his name was. It was a safety that just died last year. He goes, you have the only name, you have the only signature for this guy that I've seen ever in my life. Because he hated people. He hated signing things. He hated people. He didn't want to do anything. And you have it. He goes, so what I would do is, of course, everybody dies. That's just, it's a given. Do not sell his hat till everyone passes. He goes, the value is going to skyrocket, especially because you have Jake. Jake was his name, the safety that passed recently from the 72 team. Because you have his autograph and like all these other people. He's like, this is going to be like an insane amount of worth once all of these guys pass on this hat.
Wow. Well, there you go. See, it's some value. I mean, for me, it's actually the story. I love the stories behind things, and so even though it looks like
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking running back, receiver, running back, tight end. It depends on who's available. If there's no running backs available, then
the story, and it's
I don't know, we'll see what happens.
You know, the people you meet or whatever else. So,
but the crazy thing is about that entire story is that my mom bought it from a yard sale for $1.
well, that's what I mean. It's the story behind it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's the story how you get it, or the passion, or I remember, you know, such and such giving this or whatever, you know.
I was hoping that the Nets would win the championship because I don't know if I showed you something else they had, but Kyrie Irving's rookie season, the All-Star game was in Orlando, and so they had all these spaces reserved at the Florida Mall, which is our biggest mall we have here, and they would have all this stuff set up where you can like get autographs and things. Jeremy Lin, this was like right after his Michael Jordan record-breaking 3 games in a row. Jeremy Lin had a line like wrapped around the entire mall to get his autograph. Kyrie Irving had 5 people because he just it was the day after he got MVP of the Rising Stars game, and I was like, I mean, I knew he was the first overall pick, and I knew who he was. I didn't really pay too much attention to the Cavs, but I knew my wife was a huge Cavs fan because she's from Cleveland. So I'm like, I went into the store, I bought a Kyrie jersey. I'm like, hey, could you sign this? And then now he's, you know, gone from rookie of the year to all the other accolades that he's achieved. So that's something else that I'm hoping that continues to grow in value. But if he keeps missing the finals, it's gonna be stagnant for a while. Who knows?
That I go away for 20 minutes and everybody's dropping like flies.
Oh, I missed it. The first defense just went.
We gotta speed this up. They're making fun of us on air
For how slow we're going?
for how slow this draft is. We've already burned through the first show. They're already on to a second show right now that I just did.
They make fun of Trevis from Karma for not answering his text messages.
No, well, I don't know. I didn't talk to the guys again for the first show since that, you know, that time for you. So I don't know. It's different producers for this second show.
Fair enough.
But if you want me to tell you that they were talking about you, Travis, I will. I can throw that bone your way if you want.
I'm just ticked at it and see it because I had the back-to-back, so I was literally staring at my screen for a good 5 minutes and then blew it. I blew it. My time to shine and down the toilet.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Gretzky, yay!
See, I bring it full circle for you there.
Oh, love you, Howard. Love you. Suns are up 78-62.
7-8-62. What's the time left?
4:40 left in the third quarter.
8-60. Nice. I like this finals. I was talking about somebody else earlier when I at lunch where, but like, there's always some like annoying team or annoying player that makes the finals or the Super Bowl or the World Series. I'm like, I hope they don't win. And this is a matchup that no matter which side wins, I'm happy because I'm a huge huge Giannis fan, and huge CP3 fan. Because I mean, before I went to UCF, I was a big FSU sports fan, and FSU being the ACC along with Wake Forest, I watched a lot of Chris Paul when he was at Wake Forest, and so seeing him, following him for the last, I don't know, 16 years now, I'm definitely leaning towards the Suns getting it, but if Giannis gets it, I'm also pretty happy.
I feel like the public opinion on Chris Paul and whether people want him to win has shifted a lot over the last couple of years, which I appreciate because I've always been a big fan. And
wait,
man, a lot of people.
You mean
really
like when he
hated
was
him
on the
for a while.
Rockets, maybe?
Rockets and Clippers, yeah. I feel like a lot of people were rooting against him.
Maybe they were rooting against him because of the team he was on and not him personally. Because any team that Harden's on always gets rooted against.
Yeah.
He's the current villain in the well, him and LBJ are the current villains, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy either way. Tua off the board. I almost went Tua, but I'm sure my entire team would have hated me. They would have blamed it being a favorite pick. They would have came up with a bunch of reasons why I shouldn't have. I'm surprised I'm not getting yelled at about drafting Devonte Parker. If Anthony was on this, the CEO of Karma, he would be drafting Cleveland Browns in the first 8 picks. That's why we don't let him on these things.
Well, it's interesting, Matt. I see you took Deshaun Watson. He went last out in the draft as well. Although when he was originally taken, they decided to throw him back in. They said, we're drafting him, and they said, can we change that pick?
How late did he go?
He ended up going. He went, I think, originally in the.
See what happens here. So we got another 13
round,
picks
and then
before
he
us
was
again.
thrown
Yeah,
back
running
in
back, receiver.
and
There's
didn't
definitely gonna be
end up
receiver in
going
the
to
next 2 we have. Receiver, running back, receiver, tight end are the 2 possible combos. And then of course the last 2 being kicker, defense.
I ended up taking him.
What I typically do is I do a lot of waiver wire stuff when it comes to the defense.
Yep.
It's called streaming. You just pick up defenses based on who their matchups are.
That fourth round, your second quarterback or your first quarterback?
Who, me?
Yeah. You take him as your first or your second?
No, it was my second. I have Russell Wilson.
I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play for Houston. I think people are getting a lot of value.
I think people
You like Sherpas?
even if he does play.
Tua, Ty, Mike, Damien Harris,
What
James
did you say,
Conner, Del
Ryan?
Beckham, Melvin
Oh,
Gordon,
I
Mike
think
Evans.
Watson's going to play, and I think he's going to play for Houston. I think
Yeah,
getting a lot of value.
his team depends on Tua. If Tua's then his
The
team's gonna
NFL
suck. Like
the
if that's his
NFL
first
ju-
quarterback,
judges every
he's got Kirk
situation
Cousins just now
differently.
too. So you just doubled
The
up
way
on
there's been
quarterbacks
no
in
news for
11
so long
and
and
12.
Things are kind of going away. I kind of feel
But
they're
he's
gonna
probably gonna string
try to sweep it under
quarterbacks.
the rug as much as possible.
He's probably gonna string
No one else.
quarterbacks where he's gonna play matchups. Is what he's doing.
Roster spots. I mean, snagging.
I feel like
him as
mine
your
on
second
paper.
quarterback
I'm really
and
happy with mine on
Tyrod Taylor
paper.
with, like, your
The only thing I was talking to
19th
guys in
pick.
my team,
Tyrod
and the
should
only
be a
thing that they would have switched is instead of me getting DK in the third, they would rather get Kittle, who went right after him, and instead of me
think there's some value
getting
in that, for
Andrews in the 5th, because we would already had Kittle in theory, we would have got DJ Moore, which went right after him as well. So those 2 are the only things that would have made my
Well, as I say, that was the
my
nemesis of draft
content
last
writers, my NFL gurus
quarterback scenario.
happier. Justin, appreciate the like, man.
I wonder if we're ever going to hear the end of it.
No, I've got hours. The way you guys are drafting, I've got hours to talk about this, so don't worry.
He ain't lying.
I was waiting for everybody starting to like, as soon as how Digger said that, I was waiting for everybody just to leave the Zoom one at a time.
Paris Campbell. There you go.
You can stay healthy and get an upgrade at quarterback. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, no, I
feel like we've been trying this every year with Paris Campbell. Is this his third year?
It is.
yes, and
That's the breakout. Third year wideouts.
well, it'll be interesting to
Works
see
every
how-
time.
Most receivers break out by their 8th game, so he's still got a shot.
Devonte Parker didn't break out till his 8th year. We got plenty of time.
Well, that's the Gase clause. Everybody knows that. You just need to get away from Gase.
Right. That's what you're hoping for.
Benny, I like the fact that you didn't draft a running back, only drafted one early. So now you're trying to make it up with multiple running backs at this point in time.
Yes, this is the part of the draft where I go running back crazy. Just hoping to get somebody I can start alongside my second round pick.
Yep.
I tell you, I don't mind Gio Bernard, man. Like that's a Brady recruit, and what
Yes.
Tom wants, Tom gets. So,
That's right.
you're gonna mix in Fournette and Ronald Jones, but when Brady wants a decent
Our pyramid
pass
just got
blocker who
drafted.
can
I was trying to see if I could get a
release and
UCF
catch a
receiver
pass
here,
out in
but
space. He's got Gio. I think he's going to be a surprise for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Rashad Penny yet?
There was a
Rashad
lot
Penny's
of
still
talk
available.
last year from Arians and Leftwich about how unhappy they were with the running backs drops, and I guess drops don't matter until they matter.
Oh, never mind. Penny just got taken.
Obviously, like you said, Bernard was a recruit, and I think he'll get a lot of playing time.
That's the thing.
I couldn't get the handcuff to CMC because Mike Davis went really early.
Don't really compliment.
Let me see how early he went.
So, like Fournette kind of
Mike
ended
Davis
up being
went
the
the
passing downs
Oh
back.
no, he's on
by
Atlanta.
default,
Who's
just because it was either him
Wait
or
a second.
LaShawn
Who's
McCoy.
CMC's backup?
But I think Gio could actually play a really big role.
I don't know if I realized Mike Davis was on.
That pick that Chris you just took, Rashad Penny, if he's healthy, I think he's going to be given the chance. He's going to push Chris Carson a lot there, and it's just his problem is staying healthy.
Yeah, never has
Don't say
been
that,
healthy.
Digger. Don't say that.
Rashad Penny, the Byron Buxton of football.
Hey, Byron Buxton's been good before. Rashad Penny, it's all theoretical.
All right, we gotta look at getting CMCs.
for
Yeah.
me,
We gotta look
I
at
got
get
Chris Carson in my
CMC's
dynasty
backup
league,
right
so I
now is
don't
Chuba
want,
Hubbard.
Penny taken.
We have to get him on the next one because if CMC gets hurt, there's no way. If we don't have the handcuff, there's no way we win. No way we win any games.
Love the theoretically talented guys. Reggie Bush, in my mind, for years, like he's gonna be good. He can catch. He can do everything in space. Was just never good.
We might be able to wait till the end though to get him.
Yeah, that one good year in Detroit, right?
He almost had 2,000-yard seasons in a row with Miami. I looked that up earlier today. He had one.
It's top 15, 3 straight years.
I think we could wait till the end to get him.
Yeah, I think he had 2 touchdowns in a week 16 to cost me a championship. So that one stuck with me. Him and Sean Green combined for like 5 touchdowns for my opponent. It's a hell of a way to lose a championship.
Curious. We're up.
Does anyone understand what Houston's doing with their backfield?
understand what Houston's doing with any part of the rest.
That's fair.
Do they have
I've got a suspicion.
They're giving the Lions a run for their money for the worst.
right now?
I say they cut David Johnson. Philip Lindsay becomes the early down back, and Mark Ingram slides in as the pass catcher / pass blocker.
They have
third down.
Rex Burkhead too.
I definitely like Lindsay as the number one back.
Burkhead get mixed in there as well.
Yeah, Burkhead got signed.
I think they just need to, the question that they're going to have is, do we go another season, with David Johnson
Or
and
do I
take
get
this beating in
Lazard,
the
who-
media that it's a constant reminder of them getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins? Or do we accept the fact that he looked completely gassed last year, couldn't take it to the
No,
outside,
I'm going Tony.
and just cut him and just be done with it and, and move on? I think that's kind of, I feel like that's where they're at, but
So here I'm gonna get a
obviously,
defense.
That's just my my gut.
I'm gonna get a defense here.
It would be kind of bad to cut him and then have nothing left for Hopkins.
What we got? Who we got left?
What else? What are you gonna? You're gonna play him?
I'm just saying. I agree. It was awful, but I don't know. The whole team is just. It doesn't
It's
really
Jack
matter.
Easterby. When did he ever make a good decision?
They're going to be playing behind 30 points every week anyway. So who's going to
Rams,
be
Colts,
running the ball
Saints.
more than 10 times a game?
Put my stamp in the 8th round, gentlemen, and I stand by it.
Oh, Rams,
Would take
man.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely. I think he's absolutely the guy. Not only for the price tag, but I think he'll end up being the best.
And then so we just did
Might take a
receiver
couple weeks.
defense. So the next two is
Oh, wow,
we're gonna get Chuba Hubbard, the
Everybody's gonna get even amounts of
handcuff
touches for like
to
the first
CMC,
4 or 5 weeks.
and then we're gonna get a kicker. So that's
I just
our
put a
last two
question
picks.
in the chat room. Not that you care, but
Let me move this up a little bit for you guys.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. Love Sterling Shepard. Curtis Samuel's your 5th. It's nice.
I would inappropriately touch myself if Aaron Rodgers went to Denver and I had AJ Brown, Cortland Sutton, and Juju as my top 3.
I'll just stop my video for a second then. Thank you.
I'm sorry if that offends anybody. But
Hey Danny, what's up, man?
Just easier.
Is that your team from last night, Digger?
Yeah.
So you and I have
Oh
some.
no, wait, I got 3 more picks.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And
Yeah, I
Devontae.
cut it off
So
actually
Chuba
similar,
Hubbard kicker,
to,
and then
Matt's Boston
best
away.
available after that.
But
I'm definitely
then-
gonna get Chuba Hubbard and a kicker next two.
But yeah, we had very similar.
Good luck to you this season.
I have one other sleeper receiver that I haven't told you about because I don't think he's drafted yet for you guys. So, but my running backs are Derrick Henry and J.K. Dobbins.
Just whisper it into my ear. Don't tell anybody else.
Okay. Ryan, the guy's name is
That made me uncomfortable.
Jay Green. You've never heard of him.
Exactly. I do have AJ on my team. I have AJ Dillon. There you go.
Oh, all right. Well, that's better.
I have.
Not much, but slightly.
Oh, I know. Well,
Yeah, I forgot that Davis left for Atlanta. Completely
I'm
forgot
basing
that.
it on the fact that they might still run with 2 running backs there at times if they do it the same way they did last year. Actually, I'll check to see if you. Um,
And the first kicker goes.
He is gone. Sorry, the sleeper pick that I had, well, not sleeper pick, but the other wide receiver I had, Jason, you took him, was John Brown. Not necessarily a sleeper pick, but that's who else I have with that receiving core.
So that was like a maybe he'll be healthy a few games. It's a semi
Well, if he stays healthy like 2 years ago,
Waller and Kenyon Drake as pass catchers.
if he stays healthy like 2 years ago, I think Derek Carr will find him.
I mean, he's not less talented than Nelson Aguilar.
That's what I mean. So I just felt that, he's actually, Henry Ruggs still has to prove himself, obviously. And John Brown has certainly showed he's capable of putting up numbers like Nelson Aguilar.
All right. I think I'm going to have to call it a night. Could I move just to the computer or my phone before my wife kicks my ass?
Where are we in the draft here, Matt?
Yeah, you could draft from your phone.
I just took a kicker, so that marks the end of my draft.
Auto draft for the rest. Call it a day.
No, just use the phone.
Are you going to be able to use the phone to draft?
Should be able to, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll have my computer. I just need to go off the Zoom because my wife won't want to see you guys in bed. As long as you're okay with that, I know you're a stickler digger.
Just that's funny. No, as long as you're able to finish the draft, I just want to make sure it's your pick. Not then if I could sign it.
Believe me, I'm not the type.
Yeah, no, okay, that's good. That's fine. Good
Right,
seeing
awesome.
you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks again for hosting.
Anybody
Good luck,
ever
everyone.
makes it up to Toronto, like make sure you look me up. Happy to get together, sort of thing. And you need a place to stay, let me know too.
Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
See you, man.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
See you later.
All right, Digger, I'm gonna stay with you for 2 months. Is that okay?
Did I say that out loud? I was actually trying to, it was only meant for Howard Bender. If Howard wants to stay, no.
All right.
Well, my wife just threw me out, Digger, so I'm gonna need a place to crash for a few months.
There you go. Only one of the three dogs, okay? Not two. Not all three.
I'm a big snorer too. You can hear it resonate throughout the entire house.
That's funny. Well, I may stay on till the end of this round and then let you guys finish it off. You don't need me babbling in your ear.
Digger, where in Canada are you again?
For you, I'm actually close to the North Pole. You know where that is? No, Toronto.
Okay, I'm gonna be in Montreal
You
for a
like
few
theater.
hours.
You're a theater person. It's got great theater in Toronto. If you ever come up here, it's probably behind New York, possibly Vegas, and Chicago. It rivals with theater.
Touche. I have
Yeah.
a connection flight in Montreal. I don't know how long I'm going to be there for, but I know that has nothing to do with Toronto, but I will be in Canada for a hot minute in the early weeks of November this year.
Cool. Montreal is about a 5.5-hour drive from Toronto. So it's like going from San Francisco almost 3/4 of the way to LA, right, Mike?
Say it again. 3/4 away from where?
Just nod your head and say yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Now I spent I don't know if I told you, but when I worked on a cruise ship for 6 months, and our first few rotations were the east coast of Canada, which once again is not Toronto, but I just constant time, like it was like a 13-day cruise, so over and over again it was Sydney, Halifax,
John,
somewhere in Newfoundland, Quebec City, and there was like one more place. There's like 5 or 6 ports there, but
so Newfoundland probably would have been St. John's, Newfoundland.
I think so, yeah.
That's farthest eastern point in Canada. Then Sydney, Nova Scotia, which would be close to, Nova Scotia itself is where Sidney Crosby's from, as is Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
Player that you would have heard of. But that's Sydney is a port, the eastern part of Nova Scotia. Halifax is probably a place that everybody's heard of. St. John, New Brunswick could have been another one. Quebec City is the oldest city in North
Yeah,
America.
the castles they were crazy. That's my favorite part about the whole Canada trip, is the castles in there in that area.
Well, it's the Plains of Abraham. That's where the English and the French fought. So the Plains of Abraham. It's 400 and old Quebec City. The doors literally shows you how tall people were. In old New Quebec City, is doors were like 4.5 feet tall, type of thing. So, but it's a beautiful area. Quebec City is beautiful.
Oh, you're in Halifax?
That's where
no
the
kidding.
Quebec
So
City is where the
pretty
Colorado
cool, Justin.
Avalanche.
Yeah,
came
I've been there a
from.
few
They were the
times.
Quebec
I have a
Nordiques
funny story
before
about
that.
Halifax, but I'll get into it on another
So
stream.
they moved from Quebec to Colorado. Again, useless historical.
Useless
stuff.
information, but interesting nonetheless.
I try to have some sort of, blah 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 to add to the conversation, as you've probably noticed.
What is a Nordique?
What is a
Just
what?
means North.
A Nordique.
Quebec Northerners.
Okay.
Nord, N-O-R-D, is north in French.
Oh, there you go.
And now in Toronto, we incorporate that, or the Raptors incorporate that into "We the North," right?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that statement. So
The North remembers.
yeah.
I always found that interesting because Minneapolis is technically further north than Toronto.
It is, yes.
So Minneapolis should technically be the north.
Well, they were the North Stars, see?
Yes.
For the longest time until they moved. So, and does anybody know what team they became after the North Stars?
Alice Stars.
No. Well, yes, actually, it's
The Wild.
it was the Cleveland Barons merged with the Minnesota North Stars to make the Minnesota North Stars stay there. The Cleveland Barons stopped at that time, and then they moved to the Dallas Stars. And at the same time, I think San Jose Sharks were promised to have, the Gunn brothers were promised to have the San Jose Sharks at some point in time. And then Minnesota finally got a team back with the Wild. And if anybody knows about Minnesota, it has one of the biggest hockey tournaments in the world. It's huge.
College.
No, high school hockey. And they sell out they actually sell out the Wild Stadium, and have for years for the high school tournament. So it's unbelievable how big it is supposedly there. I've never been, but I heard it's amazing.
Is it like a massive tournament in terms of like March Madness, or there's like a ton of teams in it?
Not to get to the finals, yeah. So it's they pare it down, until they get to like the quarterfinals or whatever, when all those games are then played in Minnesota.
But it starts with like a vast amount of teams.
Correct, from what I understand.
While the college football in North America or United States can't figure out more than a 14 playoff.
There you go. So that's other things. So where did the Utah Jazz first start off?
New Orleans.
Yeah, that's where they got the Jazz name from.
And where did the LA Lakers start off?
Minneapolis.
And do you know why they were called the Lakers?
Great Lakes.
Land of 1,000 lakes.
What's that?
Land of 1,000 lakes.
Correct. There you go. They were Minnesota. They were for that. And that's back in Chamberlain days and things like that and all that stuff. So
I always love reading that team relocation stuff. It has nothing to do with relocation, but I'm interested to see what Cleveland Indians are going to become once all that's said and done. I looked it back into I'm an Indians fan myself, just where all the in-laws are from and where the wife is from, and I was switching from the Marlins because I hate them with a passion. I'm never rooting for them ever again because they always got their team when they actually do good, and so I gave them up and I needed a new team, and I was like, well, I'm dating this girl, so I'll root for the Indians. And now I've been an Indians for like 10 years now, but back in their history, I think in like 1912, 1920 time, they had a team called the Cleveland Spiders. I'm like, that would be the coolest jersey, coolest name, coolest logo ever if they could bring back the Cleveland Spiders. That'd be so sick. But they'll probably do something stupid. Because Cleveland's going to Cleveland. When are they actually deciding?
Bud, you on sleep?
So I like, there's what pitcher is in the Hall of Fame with only 94 wins, but he had a 2.28 earned run average and only had 4 saves.
What year was he inducted?
Oh, Satchel Paige.
Nope.
No.
Good
Nah, he
guess.
was at-
Before my time.
It was, you might have heard of him, Babe Ruth.
Never heard the guy.
94 wins. Hard to believe he had 94 wins as a pitcher. You had
Hey
two.
guys, sorry. Mike Patch is gonna take over for drafting for me. I've already got kids waking up thanks to the ridiculous storm rolling through the Northeast, and I'm gonna.
I thought you were about to say thanks to the ridiculous stories that you guys were talking about.
No,
Your stories suck.
No, this has been great. I really appreciate it. Good luck to everybody. We'll still be drafting live to the end. And I do. Thanks. Good luck to everybody.
All right, Barry. I'll see you later,
Barry,
man.
give me a call
See you
tomorrow
later.
and I'll fill you in on the rest of the stories, okay?
Yeah, no, I love this. Honestly, I wish we'd gotten into the trivia earlier. I love this stuff. But thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Good one. Thanks, Barry. Say hi to Dustin.
I'm gonna head out too, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Good talking to you.
That's it.
All right, see you, man.
Bye.
Oh, I'm almost. No, who did it to me? Who did it? He's off my queue list. Somebody drafted him. Who was it?
Who'd you pick? Who was it?
Chuba Hubbard. Who got him?
Yeah.
That was me.
Canadian.
Go
There you go.
Pokes.
Hey, you guys. Knew I should have got him.
Thank you, Chris, for drafting a Canadian.
And you got it, man.
Well, wasn't even paying attention. He went the previous round. I was like, nobody's gonna touch this guy.
That was my kicker. Not that that helps you.
All right, it's kicker and defense time.
Best time. Chuba Hubbard. Yep. What just happened was we had a we freaking had our handcuff set up for CMC, and he got drafted in the 13th round after we picked the Rams. He went like 6 picks after. I didn't even realize that because I was planning to get him.
So Howard, since you've only got
And on the so we got a kicker, we got our kicker, so we got Bass as our kicker, Buffalo, we got our Rams
and you lose
defense.
away.
Let me move this up more
So
so
what
you
do you
guys can
think of
see
those
it.
receivers? Are they okay? Yes, no, maybe. Needs
And I
work?
went with Hooper. It wasn't a
No,
receiver
listen,
that I was in love with, and I already
listen, I
have
love AJ Brown. I'm not
6
gonna say anything
receivers.
bad about him. You know, Juju.
So the
it's a
so I just
matter
went with Hooper because he's a
of
pretty good tight
who the
end.
number one is. If you know,
Let me
if
make
he
sure he
stays
didn't have the same
healthy,
bye week
Big
as
Ben
Andrews, did
wants
he?
to. You know, he doesn't
13
want
and
Matt
8 nah.
Canada to do like all his crazy pre-snap
So I really wanted a
motion
running
stuff. He wants
back,
to run more
but all the running backs that are left are
traditional
trash. I was only gonna get
rollout
Chuba Hubbard
canvas
because he was
system
a
slowly. So
because he was
if
the
he's gonna line
handcuff,
up,
but all these other running backs are trash. So I know I need another running back, but I'm just gonna focus on the waiver wire and the free agency bidding to get my next running back.
You know, Cortland Sutton. It's really going to depend on who's throwing him the ball. I love the talent. The player is fantastic. But I mean, they're a mess at QB right now. So it's a little, so it'll just be inconsistent. I've always loved Curtis Samuel, and he knows this offensive scheme already, so he's going to be a great complement for for Terry McLaurin and the guys over there in Washington. So I dig that. Shepard, who knows who gets the ball, and then I mean Devonta Smith. It's an upside play. There's a lot we still have to see with this Philly offense to see exactly what it is, but. I mean, listen, I think it's a solid group. I've drafted AJ Brown in places. I've drafted Juju Smith-Schuster. I've drafted Curtis Samuel. So I don't hate them. But I'll tell you again, if Aaron Rodgers ends up in Denver somehow, Sutton's value, him and Jerry Jeudy. I mean, give me all the shares of those two.
Yeah, I wonder if it will. I know.
Oh, I like that Terrace Marshall pick.
Yeah.
That's my LSU guy.
What do you
All
guys
the other
think
running
of
backs
Zach
available,
Wilson?
they're all
What
like
kind of year is he
3rd
gonna
and
have?
4th on the depth chart.
Bender.
It's going to be an interesting year for Zach Wilson.
Same old Jets.
I mean, yeah, I would have preferred Fields there, but Wilson will, I don't know. He'll be okay as long as, I mean, he needs to
Oh wait.
not look to throw up that hero ball so much. Like everybody's raving about, him
Mark Ingram.
rolling to his left
Todd
and
Gurley.
throwing to his right. And I'm like, yeah, that was amazing. Throwing to an uncovered receiver over there with nobody actually chasing you to the left. So
Yeah, that's kind of what you're not supposed to do.
right. I mean, in a regular game, that ball is picked off by the safety easily. He's definitely undercut that route. But I think if Saleh, encourages that semi-conservative offense and, as far as, rotating in the running backs, like he learned from Shanahan, I think it takes some of the pressure off of Wilson.
All right, that is the end of my draft.
Ryan, thank you for making it on.
No, I'm sorry that I held you up, man. Totally my fault.
No, I was worried because we couldn't get a hold of you. But Howard, thank you for reaching out to him because I tried and then I was worried that we wouldn't get a hold of you and Johnny. So that's good.
I'm going to be suspended from Fantasy Alarm for at least 6 to 8 weeks after this.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
Okay, I think I found somebody
Later,
in the
Ray.
depths of everything that I actually want to get. My last overall pick.
Logan, you still on by any chance?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can you check the spelling of Chris Towers' name? Just make sure it's Chris is spelled with a C, the R instead of the I.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
And you can remove Ben Gretsch from that team. I don't think Ben's not a part of the team, is he, Chris, this year?
Yeah.
He's not, correct?
So go ahead and remove Ben.
All right, so I have the running back. I think I'm gonna go with here with the last
Logan,
pick.
you want to just pick a kicker for Denny? Something tells me we could be waiting here a while.
Let me go ahead and do that. Who should we give him?
Doesn't matter. Just give him somebody.
Give him the top one that's there.
All right.
So if he's available, we're gonna go with Justin Jackson, who's
Other than
the
Daniel Carson.
Chargers second in command, Austin Eckler.
Graven, don't screw this pick up. This is where you guys have lost the last few years in the 16th round.
I am done. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see some of you
All right.
tomorrow. Have a good night.
Hey, take
Good
care.
luck.
See you.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Hmm. Not sure what's going on. It's not letting me make a pick.
You have to pick a kicker. So is that
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Who are you trying to select, and I can go and put them in for you.
Matt Gay.
Okay.
Let's go with him. Okay, it worked now. Not sure why it wasn't working before.
Yeah, he looks like he's probably gonna be. That Prater is on. Who's the Detroit kicker then?
Randy Bullock.
Man, how do you get rid of the GOAT? How do you get rid of the GOAT? Hall of Fame kicker. Gone.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks so much for the draft.
Yep.
All right.
I'll see you guys later.
To you all.
All right, see you,
Good
man.
luck, everybody. Thanks for the draft.
See you guys.
Chris,
Take
make
it
sure you
easy.
get all the money in, okay?
We'll do. Thanks.
So, it's Chris. Speaking of that, real quick, I did click the link and it said $0 due. I don't know why. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't pay yet. I'm like 90% sure I didn't pay. When I clicked that link he posted in chat, it says $0 due.
All right, I'll check the.
I'm just gonna stick with that for the rest of the decade. $0.
I will follow up and make sure.
All right.
All right.
Oh, Chris, you can't get off. And is the last pick taken? Wait till the
No,
last.
I got my pick lined up. Don't worry, I won't take 70 hours this time.
All right. See you guys.
Take care. Cheers. We made.
All right, so yeah, so that Zoom just ended. So we're just gonna pick this last pick, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We'll be good to go. Oh, somebody did choose Ingram there. But yeah, I don't know if I was saying that on mic, on a hot mic or not, but that's not the guy we wanted. The guy we wanted is still available. I just have to wait till this second person here picks their person. They're not doing yet, and it's driving me crazy. And there's no like auto pick either. Like what's happening right now? Let me pick my dude. Let me pick my dude. Like, so everybody backed out. And I was like, I was like, is somebody still drafting for this team? It's alright, 2 minutes now. Try to get my last pick it, man. I'm the last pick of the draft. Thank the Lord. Get picked. Alright, there we go. We're getting my guy, Justin Jackson, backup. A backup running back. In round 16, baby. Boom! Got him. Justin Jackson, back up to Austin Eckler. If Austin Eckler goes down with an injury, that is the best pick of this entire draft. But of course, we have to wait on injury for that to happen. The draft is complete. Appreciate everybody that tuned in throughout the entire time. That was to say the longest. This team is going to destroy, man. Everybody stays healthy. This team is the best team on paper. We got CMC. If he stays healthy, man. Let's pull up. Let me pull up real quick the evaluation. See where we're at right now. Our bench is so-so, but we're still rated number 1. Here, I'll pull this up for you guys here. We had A grade. Hold on, let me... Second here, let me pull this up. Here is... I'm trying to pull this up to show you guys. Here you go. So here's the draft analysis here from our friends at Fantasy Pros. Here's the analysis. So based on Fantasy Pros right here, DFS Karma, my team, my company, we have the highest rated team on paper. We have the best starters, and then we have the 5th best bench. Bench is but best starters, the highest based overall projection, which is starters plus bench. So that's what this number comes from, starters plus bench. Our starters plus bench is still number 1. We still number 1, kids. Yeah, I like this team a lot. And then our grade here is see that? No, you can't see. And our grade here is 95 out of 100. So yeah, best team on paper. I picked Jackson last year when Eckler went down and he didn't do anything. So Joshua Kelly, I think, was the one that didn't do anything. Justin Jackson's okay, but if you have to choose between Kelly and Jackson, he only went above 4.0 yards per carry, I think 2 or 3 times last year. And then Justin Jackson a lot more than that. So if he does go down, it's going to be Jackson as the first go-to option. Of course, you never root for injury, but hey, if it happens, that's the best 16th round pick of all time. That being said, what do I need to do? I think I need to... Let me do the daily... Here, I'm going to turn my Xbox on real quick, and we're just going to do the daily MLB contest. The daily MLB moment. Then I have to finish... Well, I didn't charge my controller, so... Hold on. Charge, man. Charge, bro. Alright, now it is. Guess we'll use my secondary controller here. Alright, so we're just gonna play the yeah, if they stay healthy, it'll be good. Alright, so we're gonna flip things over. We're gonna play the daily moment to make sure we don't forget about that, because we want to make sure we get all those points possible. Yeah, everybody stays healthy. I like it. Especially if Aaron Rodgers plays. Aaron Rodgers starts all of the games. He starts all of the games. And I got him in the 7th round. Still the draft. But everybody's worried about all this hearsay stuff. Yeah, we're gonna knock out this this daily moment here real quick. I don't think I played it today yet. Strike out 1 batter. That's it. Strike out 1 batter, they told me. 1 batter. 1 bada. Please reconnect your controller. What? Am I not user 1? Bro, what? Feels so weird. Look, of course, there's no other controller connected. Either one's batteries are dead. It's so weird playing on an Xbox One controller because the feel is so much different than playing on an Xbox Series X controller. Just strike out one batter, that's it. Kenneth, what's up, my dude? Bro. Alright, you're getting the fastball up and in, my man. Here comes my strikeout right here. Hey, called it! They can't handle the heat! And the daily challenge is done. Daily challenge is done. I haven't done any of that, XP trick stuff since I posted the video, really, because I haven't had time. I've been really, really busy. But yeah, we're gonna flip the script here. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening. Appreciate all those that tuned in. Joseph, I'll catch you later. Tony, catch you later, man. Kenneth, appreciate the like. Make sure if you guys haven't yet, you do click that like button. Even if this is about to wrap up in 2 seconds, still click the like button. It's very, very important on how Facebook recognizes our channel and our strength of our channel and our community. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I have another draft at 2 p.m. I'm not going to stream that one, though. It's for Futures League, so I'll be on... I should be on 8 p.m. for either baseball or Madden or one of the games we play. We'll be on entertaining you guys nonetheless, no matter what game it is. But I'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. Please share the love, all the comments, all the likes.